$50,000 after she sued her former fiance for calling their wedding off. Rosemary Schell sued her ex-fiance, Wayne Gibbs, after he broke off their engagement in 2007. Schell argued her fiance's promise of marital bliss amounted to a binding contract. Boys, are you listening to this? Seriously. Are you listening to this? She said she left a high-paying job in Florida to be with Gibbs. And she said she has suffered financial losses since their breakup. She also said, boo freaking who, that she has suffered emotionally. So what, you old turkey neck? Just my opinion. There's a photo of her in here. Says here, Gibbs testified. Now, there's two sides to every story, as you're going to see here. Oh, isn't that terrible? How could he leave her at the altar like that? What a cad. Yeah, listen to his side of the story. Gibbs testified that he had taken Schell on trips and had paid $30,000 of her debt, you idiot, while they were engaged. Dork. Now get this, he said, when he found out she had even more debt than she had revealed to him, he canceled the wedding by leaving Schell a note in their bathroom. By the way, these two, did they meet on the internet? Is this another one of those eHarmony.com success stories? Oh, yes. I'm here for truth.
And listen, you guys, got to tell you guys something, man. Check this out, okay? This is the Men's Daily Advice and Encouragement channel. Click the like button, share the video. I appreciate it. Enough of that shit. Hey, listen, man. And I wanted to tell you guys this, man. I want to talk about divorce, child support, how the laws continuously screwed over men. You know, I'm gonna do a review of that shit, and once I do a review video, I'm gonna share the videos of it, discuss certain things that I found of it. This is going to be from some expert attorneys. These guys are experts, okay? Both men and women, okay? I decided to do this is because of the simple fact, man, that you got way too many men, too many fucking women out here. They are encouraging people like me and you to still get married, still move in with a woman, still have kids in the North American matrix, right? But what's crazy about it is that they're completely ignoring statistics, data, proof, what's going on the news, even if their own homeboys come in front of them in front of their house or whatever, and tell this to them, even their own children. I had a woman not long ago. She just told me this shit. She said, what did she say? She said that I showed her proof, I showed her evidence, I showed her even some of the videos I'm getting ready to show you. And she had the audacity to tell me, this is what she said. She flipped it like so quick, man. I'm talking like Matrix flipped, okay? She flipped that shit so quick. She said that, well, I really feel for my boys, right? This is I feel for my boys. She got, young boys. I feel for my boys, man, and I didn't know that women were that so evil, whatever, right? Which, in my mind, it's a 50-50 chance if she honestly did know these chicks were evil or not, right? Okay? Check this shit out. So she's seeing men going to court, getting hit for millions of dollars, men going to court, paying for child support for kids that are not theirs, men going to court who are good-ass men having to pay thousands of dollars in child support. They can't even take home a check just to say that, hey, I'm a man and I can actually provide for their household. You're even seeing guys kill themselves. You're seeing guys commit suicide. You're seeing all this shit And for some particular reason, something convinces you in your motherfucking head that I'm still going to convince people to get married. You're still going to go ahead and do that shit. You're still going to fucking do that. Okay. So this is where she get through. So she said, well, I seen it. I understand it. So I don't know what to do or what have you, and I'd say, hey, if your boys decide to get in a relationship with these women, just be precautious. Just don't marry them. You can get into a long-term relationship if they decide to get in these women, and vet them appropriately. Okay. They have to vet them very aggressively. All right. Now I wouldn't recommend dating here. No, I told her that if your boys become 16 years old, hands down, that's when they can go get their passport. Because you can be 16 years old in the United States to go get your passport. Okay. All right. I believe the same as in Canada. Don't get me wrong. You can go get your passport. And then have them date around the globe. Just date around the fucking globe. And then once they date around the globe, bring their ass back here. They can date around, and then they'll make a decision of what is right for them. You understand? Because everything and everybody is not right for everybody. Makes sense? Not everything and everybody is right for everybody. It's real. You understand? So anyway, so with that being said, you know what the hell happened? Right. This is after I shown the evidence. The attorneys were on there going in, what the fuck happened and whatever. And I'll go into detail about it. Later on, it was like about a month, 2 months later, she flipped the script. And I asked a question: would you recommend any man or woman to get married in the United States? Right. After seeing the high-ass divorce rate, many people screwing them over, whatever, she told me. It shouldn't matter where you were in the world. It's all about love. And if they love the person, they should. I said, would you recommend any man or any woman to get married here in the United States matrix, right? At all. It's a simple yes or no question. She couldn't answer it. It depends. It's kind of when if they're in love and shit. All that shit went completely out of the fucking window. The facts, the statistics. I showed the videos, showed the proof, right? How high the divorce rate. I've sent all that shit, and that shit went straight out of the fucking window. I swear to God, that shit went out the window. Went out the fucking window. Okay. It went out the window so goddamn fast to the point that I was like, damn, did I just waste my time? Whatever. But of course, you're going to waste your time trying to give these women advice, give them encouragement, show them proof. You're going to waste your time in the West. Okay. So you guys better stop trying to change these women, and we need to come together. That's the oldest saying in the world. We need to come together. They're not willing to come together, man. They're willing to just control and benefit. That's about it. As long as they can control, as long as they can benefit, and as long as they can lash out with their fucked up attitudes, mood swings, and badass behavior and get away with it, that's all they want. That's all the fuck they want. That's it. That's all the fuck they want. So with that being said, I try to stress many times, and I tell these guys out here, man, that take various risks when you date these women. Various risks. You have to, Shout out to my boy, Rebel Gets the Feet. Rebel Gets the Feet has a great channel. You need to check him out. He made a very good point, and I want to address in this video. He made a very mini video, about 3 minutes long. Go check his channel out. Rebel Gets the Feet 2.0. Rebel Gets the Feet 2.0. Okay. All right. They're shutting channels down left and right. And then there are channels that are still up. So that's why I tell you guys, click the like button, share the video. Make sure, too, that you subscribe to the channel, So anyways, this is what happened. He said that basically this, and this was real. If you got a big-ass channel out there and you haven't been through court, you haven't been through serious divorce or anything like that, man, hell, I even throw in child custody. And you're sitting up here trying to give advice and steer men in the way or whatever. You haven't been through none of that shit. Hell, probably ain't got kids or whatever. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You don't. You ain't been through no shit. Until you've been through some bullshit, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You have no idea. You have no idea. None. Okay? So what I'm saying is that, that was a good point. That was a good point, because I've seen these guys out here with these big ass channels, man. Couple 100,000, some of them upwards over 500,000, 600,000-700,000 channels or whatever, right? Subs, I'm sorry. Big ass channels. And these guys out here, they get on there and they've never been through any type of family court, never had to hand money over to a woman, never had to sit down and listen to multiple men go through this shit, and yet they're trying to encourage guys to, keep spitting game and get a whole bunch of money and you'll be fine, right? Game, all it is just lies, manipulation, tricking a woman, telling her what she want to hear, whatever. And then once that man is taught to do that shit, he does it on that woman. Let's say the woman fall for this shit. He keeps her for a while. Then once they get this big ass disagreement, right? They break up. After they break up, what the fuck you think happened? They go right back into the same goddamn cycle of bullshit. You understand? Same damn cycle of bullshit. You understand? Let me plug this up. Give me one moment. Gotcha. Cool. So they go through the same cycle of bullshit, same old cycle of bullshit. And then once they go through that same cycle of bullshit, what the fuck else you think happens? That particular woman that he ran game on, manipulated, tricked, and all that other shit just to get her so he can get laid and all this shit and focus on this person, all the bullshit that the dating coaches spit. Guess what the fuck happened to that woman? She takes that damage that this man done, go on to another guy, right? And then he, let's say, assume he listen to the dating coach or the pickup artist and all that shit. He got to re-trigger and do all that shit to her to do it all over again. It's like an ongoing cycle because she's been damaged by previous guys, previous encounters, previous sexual adventures, sexual encounters, and passing this all the way along to the point when she reached 30s, 40s, hell, 50s, she's still thinking in her fucking mind, right, that she can settle down, she can get married, and she can have kids. You understand? And you see what the fucking delusion is, right? Well, what it all boils down to it, though, is these guys is putting out fucked up information. They're putting out really bad information out there. You understand? They are. So, but anyways, though. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share this video. I hope some of you guys can come up in here. Please make sure you click that like button, share the video. Also, too, I'm going to drop the link. Once I drop this link, you guys are more and able to go ahead and actually join. I'm going to put in here, join / open mic. Okay, and then I'm going to put that right there. And I'm going to paste that there and go, boom, there it is. Okay, cool. All right, so without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get ready to share this right here. Let me share the screen. Let's see, let me do this. Give me one. Let me do this. We're going to go ahead and go to history because I listen, you guys, when it comes to this shit, man, I'm going to tell you, man, this is a lot, and I mean a lot to process, okay? This is a lot to process, so anyways, let me go ahead. Let's see, can I mute this yet? Give me one moment. I'm going to set up. Oh, someone walked in. Okay, give me one moment. I'm going to set up and then get ready to share this shit. Boom. Okay, gotcha. Cool. All right. Let me see. I can share this shit here. Boom. Okay, cool. And we're going to go ahead and actually play this. Make sure you guys click that like button. Let me know how everything comes out and hope all goes well. And here we go. Now, this is right here. This information I'm about to share to you guys is coming from a divorce attorney. Okay. You probably heard about this guy all over the fucking internet. Okay. All over the internet. This dude's shit's been going hella viral, man. Hella viral. He's been actually breaking down from a divorce attorney standpoint. Okay. And what's crazy about it, you know, like I said, I went through child custody with my daughter. I have, okay? I went through child custody with my daughter, okay? I got custody of my daughter. Joint custody, split down the middle, 50-50, no child support, no supervised visits, equal rights for my daughter, okay? Was it easy? Hell no, fuck no. Was it a fight? Yes, okay, got you, cool. And I always recommend, in my opinion, that you guys make sure that you serve the woman first, number one, and number two, be prepared. I'm telling you this, okay? All right. Don't go in. A lot of these guys have been taught dumbass advice. They've been taught, well, I'm just going to go ahead and wait for her to serve me and wait for her to do it. And then I should be cool. No, you don't fucking wait. What the fuck are you doing? Why would you wait, motherfucker? What are you benefiting from waiting? I'm just gonna wait. Then after I wait, then I'm just gonna go ahead and have her do it. No, motherfucker, you go ahead and you serve her. Serve her first, okay? All right. So, but anyway, you guys, serve her first. Make sure you're prepared, man. Okay. My rule of thumb is this: he or she who is prepared shall more than most likely win that case, right? As long as they're properly prepared and they serve the other person first. That's just my opinion, okay? But it depends on the state. You know. But the majority of the time, right? The majority of the time, guys allow these women to serve them first. I'm telling you, the majority of the time. Each time, twice that I was in court with my daughter's mom, I served her. So I'm telling you guys, for real. And you got to do it when they least expect it. You can't do this shit and tell her, no, you do it when the least expected. Because she's going to serve you when you least expect it, right? So why not you serve her when she least expected? You got to think about that shit, man. You got to flip it around, homie. Without further ado, make sure you click that like button, you guys, and let's play the video.
I had a period of time after my divorce where I was really ambitious when it came to women, but then it felt like a job. Like it felt like a job after a while, where I was like, God, it's like enough. It's kind of enough, you know. Like it's like when you've eaten so much that you just go, like, ugh. I got that way with pussy. Like it really was like I just had enough. Like it was fine. I was like, this is great, but
well, when you're in your 20s or 30s, maybe your libido is strong. No, it makes you insane.
Yeah. I was not. I definitely was.
As we age, we mellow.
Yeah, which I think is great. Although I have to tell you, one of the most depressing divorces I ever did was a guy who was, I think, 92.
Oh, geez.
And what made it depressing is that he had left his wife of, I don't know, 50-something, 60-something years for a younger woman, a woman in her 50s. And I just remember what was sad about it to me was this guy is still being led around by his dick. Like I thought, oh my God, like I'm going to be chained to an idiot forever. Like I'm going to forever be led around by my dick. And I remember thinking like, no, I really thought that at like 90 something, I would just like a beautiful woman would walk by and I go, oh, there's a human being. Like there would be no,
you can appreciate it without.
Yeah. There would just be no sense of like, yeah, you know, that would be gone from me. And this guy's proof that 90 something years old and you're still thinking with your dick. Like
we're doomed.
That terrified me. It really did. It actually upset me because I thought at some point I'd get to experience what it's like to just be free.
You live in New York where there's a financial industry. There's all kinds of industries here.
Oh yeah.
But to me, sometimes I wonder if female attractiveness isn't the highest valued commodity in our
100% it is. 100%.
It is.
Yeah, of course.
Because men are becoming rich and powerful in order to get a woman.
Of course.
The woman they want.
Of course. What an attractive woman. And when I say attractive, I don't just mean attractive. I mean even just sexually confident. I mean, what an unbelievably lucrative career that is. Like I do divorces for people that, you know, a woman walks out with $200-300 million. He was an analyst at Goldman Sachs who built a hedge fund and then sold it and then used his trading algorithm to build it up to $500 million. She was hot and slept with him for a while and then stopped and started sleeping with other people and playing tennis and having Botox, and she's going to get half. Like that's fucking incredible.
That is fucking incredible. Listen. That is Goldman Sachs, the Goldman Sachs, goddamn. And half of the guys, right, some of the guys who join my channel from other channels or whatever, right? I just don't understand it, man. They get married 3, 4, 5 times or whatever, right? And it just doesn't click to them that you don't have to get married that many times, man. You just accept after like the first or second time, man. I'm just not good at this shit, okay? I'm just not good at marriage. I suck at it, apparently. If a bitch is actually getting me 50 to 90% of all my stuff, and, you know, she's always leaving, just accept the fact that either you're not good at it or you're just playing out in the wrong fucking environment. It's just what it is. You're in the wrong fucking environment. That's just what it is.
Like, do you know what he had to do to get that? And what she had to, I'll fuck that guy for $200 million. Are you kidding me? Like, that's insane. That's incredible. Like, and God bless. I mean, I'm not saying that this person, this is the rules of the game, you know, but you can't argue that that's not easier than going to Harvard.
No, for sure. But then the payoff, the trade-off for that is that when they hit a certain age,
be honest in that chat, you guys, would you fuck that man for $200 million? God damn it, shit. Goldman Sachs, come on, yeah. Shit.
The value decreases.
Right. Play any stock, if you hold it too long, it's going to go down, you know, like, so play the stock the right way. I mean, and that's what I think. If we were a little more honest about the nature of male-female coupling, I mean, right now we can't even establish what is gender, you know, we can't establish any of that anymore. So divorce is becoming incredibly hilarious and fraught.
Well, to me, what is, like, sometimes you have to stand back and look at things to get the real perspective on what it is. Sure. And sometimes you look back at marriage. So when was it invented? Like 2000 BC, roughly. And the life expectancy of humans back then was 18 years old. Yeah. And marriage was created for land ownership and things like that. Yeah. And if you're going to die in your early 20s or whatever, then getting married at 16, 18 makes sense. Well,
I think there's a distinction that has to be made between pair bonds and marriage, right? Marriage is a government concept. Marriage is a contract. Marriage is a legal status. Pair bonds, right? Two people go in it together, you know, saying, hey, there's 7.3 billion people in the world, and the two of us, we're gonna lock up together, and we're gonna try to hold hands and get through this thing.
Until we're 80 years old.
Well, until whatever, you know. I mean, what's interesting is, first of all marriages end. They end in death or divorce, but they all.
And that's just what it is. All marriages end. A lot of women, per se, though, in their mind, they think that marriage just lasts on forever, and it's supposed to be this fucking sweet fairy tale, where real in reality, right, they haven't really developed the concept to understand why was marriage developed. You understand? What was the sole purpose of marriage? You know, has anybody, let me ask you guys in the chat too, have you guys sat down to yourself, you know, or ask your mom and dad or whoever, right, you know, grandma, whatever, what is the real reason why marriages were developed? You know, just why? You understand that? You know, and a lot of people, they can't grasp hold of that question. He's going to break that shit down, you know. Make sure you guys click the like button. You're also welcome to engage inside the comment section in the chat. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys for joining.
They all end. Like, every marriage ends. So it's one of the only things that you go, wow, I really hope this ends in us dying. You know, most things, you that's not the desired outcome. But in marriage, you hope marriage will end in death. You hope that you will be together until one or both of you die. You know, but all marriages end.
But
so
as a guy, as a provider, if you knew it was going to end and you were going to have to give away half your money, you might think twice about doing it.
Well, I think that's what makes being a divorce lawyer interesting, is that it's a lot of what a court has to do is disregard what happened in the marriage, because the truth is at the bottom of a bottomless pit. Like, you're never going to get there. Yeah, well, he's fucking his secretary. Right, because you were not sleeping with me anymore. I have a client whose wife acknowledges she didn't sleep with him for 6 years. What did you think was going on if you didn't sleep with him for 6 years? So delegate. You've delegated that responsibility. If you don't want to have sex with him, that's okay. No one should force you to have sex with this person. Let him go have sex with someone else. You don't want to do the laundry, hire someone to do the laundry. If you don't want to mow your own lawn, hire someone to mow the lawn. Delegate that responsibility. And this guy wasn't even sleeping around. He was going to those hand job places, you know, where you get a massage and get a hand. Like, what the most pathetic thing in the world, the most innocuous thing in the world. He didn't have a girlfriend. There was no love involved. He was getting jacked off for $50. Like, that's sad. Like, I mean, first of all, hand jobs, like, that's an outdated technology. That's like a Betamax.
I mean, yeah, I mean, it really is outdated. But hey, look, a man got to get his rocks off. Okay, it doesn't matter. No matter if he gets jacked off by somebody else, he jacks off himself. No matter though if he got to go by the chick next door, it doesn't fucking matter, right? He's got to get his rocks off, right? You know, I just don't understand these goddamn women who really believe that they're going to stay married. Whenever the man gets her angry, I'm just going to go ahead and withhold sex and assume that he's not going to have sex with anybody else, or assume he's not going to get his rocks off. You know, it's not going to happen. He's going to eventually he's either going to go somewhere to get those rocks off. No matter if he got to cheat on you, jack off, goddamn it, have someone jack him off. It doesn't fucking matter. Okay. All right. So that is the most idiot move of all goddamn time. You understand? You can't withhold sex from a guy and expect for the guy to not have sex. What the hell is wrong with you? I don't understand these goddamn women. Do you guys understand this shit in the West? I just don't.
You know, like, who even does that anymore? But he was doing this, and he just thought, okay, that's fine. She had the indignation to say he shouldn't be a custodial parent. He's a terrible person because he's doing this. And it was like, wait, how is that much different than going to a strip club? How is that much more different? Because we just, you know, he was like, well, should I deny it? And I was like, is it true? And he's like, well, yeah. I said, no, we should own it. Let's go in and say, yeah, you know what? Yeah, it's pathetic. It's really pathetic. My wife didn't sleep with me for 6 years, and I'm human, and I wanted to have sex still. I didn't want to blow up my life. I didn't want to screw up my kids and have my kids have divorced parents. So I thought, all right, she's clearly not interested in me anymore. I'm not going to have a girlfriend and get caught up in all the things where people could get hurt and there's feelings and fatal attraction and stuff. I'm just going to go. It'll be transactional, like going to a strip club or anything else. And is it a little pathetic that I'm a guy who makes $1 million a year in finance and I'm paying someone $50 to jack me off? Yeah, that's kind of pathetic. But you know what? I figured out. But to suggest that means I'm a bad parent, that has nothing to do with my parenting.
You see what I'm saying? This is what they do. This is how women actually take the personal life and use the personal life as a weapon to weaponize your parenting. You can be a good ass father. You can be a damn good ass father, good ass dad, good ass stepdad. I'll even throw in stepdad, right? But if you fuck with her in her personal relationship, because you could be shitty in a personal relationship, you could be a shitty person to have a relationship with, right? She's going to use those goddamn kids, right? Or anything she can as a fucking weapon. She's going to tell you from the beginning, listen, she's going to tell you from the beginning, I would never hold the kids away from you. I'll never hit you up for child support. I'll never put you in a position to divorce. She's going to tell you that, okay? She's going to tell you. It's up to you to be dumb enough to fucking believe that shit. You understand? And especially you guys out there who are married, talking about not my woman. Oh, yes, your woman too. She's going to tell you that. It's just a matter of fucking goddamn time. It's just a matter of time, okay? Did I say every woman? Not every woman. The vast majority of them does that shit, okay? Are you the guy, listen, out here, I'll be fair. Are you the guy out there that's the exception to the fucking rule out there? If you're the rare exception that found that one woman that you've been married to about 35 years in the West, more the power to you, okay? All right? But you got women out here divorcing guys like Tom Brady, shit, you know, Elon Musk and shit, right? And, Bill Gates, the Bill Gates out here. Whatever, right? Because of just irreconcilable differences or whatever, right? And then you got the other women out here who's co-talent and, well, he could have divorced her, and because, she had every right to divorce him because he could have been cheating on her or whatever, or whatever. And the thing is, whatever, right? You can never know what the fuck is really going on. You never can. Only thing you really do fucking know is, right? She's about to get 50 to 90% of whatever the fuck he got, unless he has a prenuptial agreement or unless he never got married. You see where I'm at? Or unless he's never had that woman move in with him. You understand? All right? It's a damn shame, folks. So think about this shit. Make sure to click the like button and also subscribe to and also engage in the chat. I really appreciate it. Thank you. I see those starting to slowly walk in. Thanks.
At all, period. So, and thankfully the judge agreed with me on that one. But I really do think that the idea, I don't think, if you break it down fundamentally, 56% of marriages end in divorce. Like, think about, that's the ones that end in divorce. So how many people, what percentage stay together for the kids? Or because they don't want to give away half their shit? Another 10%? That's conservative.
Conservative.
But let's say 20%.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's at least right.
You now have a technology that fails 76% of the time. That's
And listen, and it's real. He just broke it down. 50, almost half, right? Over 50 fucking something percent, man. What do you say? 56% of the marriages in the fucking divorce? 56. It's a big ass fucking number, okay? That ends in divorce, okay? All right. And you still got idiots out here encouraging people to get married here. Just encourage, right? Even though they know these laws rule in the woman's favor, even though they know that the laws are in their favor. And of course, the women are going to go and encourage it. Of course they will. You know why? Because they know that they fucking benefit from it, and they know they get an incentive every fucking goddamn time. Every time.
That's insane. That's insane. That's more likely than not. 76%. If I told you there's a 76% chance when you walk out the door today, you're going to get hit in the head with a bowling ball, you would not go out, or you'd wear a helmet for sure. But people just continue to get married. Not only do they continue to get married, there's a presumption that you should get married. And if you don't get married, there's something wrong with you. So if you've got a girlfriend and you've been with her for 5 years, and you say to someone, we're getting married, they go, oh, that's great. You know, they don't go, why? You're happy. Why would you get married? Like, everything's going fine. Why would you put yourself through that? Why would you run that risk? If you say to someone, we've been together 5 years and we've decided we're not going to get married. We're going to move in together, but we're not going to get married. Ooh, what's wrong? You have intimacy issues? What's your problem? Meanwhile, 56% end in divorce. It's literally fits the legal definition of negligence. It's a negligent behavior. The way you define negligence in law school is when what you lose by not doing something, okay, is lower than the risk of harm. It's what's called a BPL analysis. So the burden of not doing a thing is lower than the likelihood, the probability of harm. So BPL, so burden, probability, and loss. Marriage is an inherently negligent activity. It's like owning a lion. Like the likelihood of someone getting hurt seriously by this is very, very high. No one ever says it to you. Because why? Because, and I would say something, I've been doing this for over 20 years, and I still get misty-eyed at weddings. Like, I still really, there's something in me that goes like, you know, maybe it'll work out for these two.
You still believe in love?
Sweet. I absolutely believe in love. I think.
And so you guys, look, you can't be mad at me, okay? I mean, love is love. It's out there. That shit's out there. It is, man. Not everybody believe in love. Some people do, some people don't, you know. I just don't believe that a man should go and get half of his shit taken away by some goddamn woman who's never earned it. And I just don't believe in men giving away free money to a woman unless it's for a legitimate reason that actually makes sense. I mean, it's fucking insane with this divorce laws. I just don't understand. And child custody too, man. He's going to talk about this shit too, man.
I think love is wonderful. But love and marriage have very little to do with each other. I don't think there's much of a correlation there. And I think that's where we got off track. Like, I believe in pair bonds. I don't think I can learn everything I need to know about myself from myself. I think having someone around me who sees my blind spots, and that doesn't have to be a romantic partner. That could be a friend. That could be any number of things. But there is something wonderful about romantic connection. We know that. I mean, the other statistic is 56% of marriages end in divorce, but 84% of people who get divorced are remarried within 5 years of their divorce.
Really?
Wow.
Think about that. So now you've done it and failed. Okay. And felt the pain of the loss, and within 5 years, 84% are remarried.
So when you fall in love,
crazy,
and you're with a partner who's in love with you,
sure.
It's like hard to put the brakes on and say, you know what, that's as far as I'm going to go.
Well, I think whoever discovered water, it wasn't a fish, and I think when we're in a thing, we don't see it, and so. I mean, and this is true of any of us.
There must be some endorphins, something's being released in our brains.
Listen, you want to test that theory. The next time you're out with a couple who've been together for a while, and it like seems like they maybe got in a fight, or they're just like kind of being, impatient with each other at the table. When you go like a group thing. just say to them, so tell me about how you met. Tell me the story of how you met. And everything on them changes. Like they go back to that place. And there's this like, oh yeah, and she was this. Because for that second, you go back to that place. Like you can go, someone with a horrible divorce, if you could get them to go to that place and talk to you about that time. Like I would tell you something, when I was a kid, you know, like every kid, you have the fantasy of like, if you were invisible, what would you do? You'd go to the girls' locker room, you know, whatever. I have this fantasy that if I could be invisible, I have about 8 clients that I'd like to sneak into their house and find their wedding album. Like I know it's in the attic somewhere or something, because I would love to see what it looked like when these people loved each other, because they are weaponized against each other now. And we are trying to kill each other, and we're taking every secret, every intimacy, everything. And we're just,
at their ugliest.
At their ugliest.
And see, the thing is, right, let me piggyback on what he's saying, okay? My attorney asked me and my daughter's moms, why come you guys are not getting along? What's going on? I had to tell her the truth. I said, well, she took my kid away. Why did she take your kid away? And I had to hit her with the truth, Mom. She fucked my brother, okay? She had sex with my brother while he was married and also got pregnant with the kid. And from my understanding, the kid didn't survive the embryo. It did not survive. And she was like, oh, my fucking God, this is the most Jerry Springer shit I ever heard. I said, yes. I said, yes. Okay. But what happened to the good times? There were good times. But this is not the time to rekindle them after you heard some shit like this. And she's like, oh, what the fuck? Yes. You know, because listen, these attorneys, this is the reason I respect a lot of the family law attorneys, right, who actually are pro men rights. They focus on fathers' rights, you know, and that is the fact that they've had some clients that experienced some shit for that ass, man. They have, okay. They had some really, really, really fucked up situational clients that they had to bail their ass out of. Did they win some? Yes. Did they lose some? Yes. Was it neutral? Did they settle it in mediation? Yes. But when it all boils down to it, and when it's all said and done, right, they had to come to the reality. Not all of them do, but they had to come to the reality, the understanding that, hey, this is the reason why I'm in your office. This is the reason why I'm paying you all this money. This is the reason why I want to protect my money, my asset. This is the reason that I want to get custody of my kids so I can eliminate this bullshit, because apparently it's not easy to negotiate or have a discussion with this individual. You know, it's not that easy. It's not that easy to look that woman in the eye, you know, after she's cheated on you, or in my case, fucked around with your brother, and then you expect everything to be peaches and pie. No, the shit's not going to fucking happen. Click the like button.
That they're worst. And there's something in me that just the thought that, like, you guys at some point you were like, there's 7.3 billion people in the world and you're the one. Like, you're the one I just want to be with and smell and touch, and like that feeling. We all know that feeling of like just the electricity of another person, you know? And I mean, I think I'm a romantic at heart in the sense that I really get it. Like, I really get why we do this. I felt it, I know it, I understand it. But tying that to the technology of marriage to me makes almost no sense whatsoever. And I actually think it's almost antagonistic to that connection with another person, because there's so much expectation that comes with marriage culturally. We've created so much stuff around it. Like when you marry someone, they're supposed to be, at least in the modern Western model, your best friend, best roommate, best co-parent, best travel partner, best roommate, best everything, best activity partner. Like how would one person be all of those things? That's insane. Like if I was interviewing for a job and said, I want you to be the best typist, and I also want you to be best on the phone, and I also want you to be great at that, and I ran down a list of dissimilar things, like, or if I went to an amazing chef and I said, I know you're a great chef, but can you farm? Like, well, that has to do with food, but they're not the same thing. Like, what are you talking? So I think, why do we put on people this idea, like whoever came up with the word soulmate, really we should be paying, like divorce lawyers should be paying that person dividends. Because we've convinced people that if this person isn't meeting every one of your needs, checking all of these boxes, they're not your soulmate.
Wow.
Your soulmate would know exactly what to do, exactly what to say at exactly the right time. I can go off on this stuff.
Yeah.
I tend to.
Well, I mean, what do you think the secret is to keeping a marriage vital, keeping it alive?
I think people get unhappy in marriages the way that people go bankrupt, which is very slowly and then all at once. I think it's very slow and then it just goes off a cliff. So everybody will say, well, we divorced because he was cheating or she was cheating, or we divorced because he had an alcohol issue or a drug issue, which lately we're seeing more like alcohol and drugs is a big thing, especially post-pandemic. There's a tremendous amount of substance abuse stuff that's causing a lot of issues in marriages.
Yeah.
And certainly like social media has increased the accessibility of adultery and connections to other people and reconnections with people from your past who remind you of a version of yourself that you felt more excited about because you were younger. So it's, it used to be if you like ran into the girl you banged in high school, it was like once every 10 years at a reunion, or if you lived in the same town as you grew up in, you might run into the person at the Walmart. But now it's like on Facebook, you have all these excuses to be able to chit chat with someone and all these benign entry points, of like, oh, I saw your pictures from vacation. Where did you stay in Miami? And then it becomes, oh yeah, well, you looked great. I mean, boy, you look fantastic in a bikini. And then all of a sudden we're off to the races and we're chatting with each other. So if we were going to invent like an infidelity machine, you couldn't do better than Facebook and Instagram. I mean, that's about as good as it gets. But I genuinely think that the secret to staying happy in a marriage is probably the same secret to maintaining a healthy weight. Don't wait till you get super fat and then try to lose the weight. Don't wait until you get really sick. Like my sister's a dentist. And she always says, if you have a toothache, there's nothing I can do really. Like I can pull the tooth, I can give you a root canal, but like I can prevent you from getting a toothache. If you just come see me regularly and you just floss and you just brush your teeth, you'll never get a toothache. By the time your tooth hurts, something is already seriously wrong. By the time you're in a divorce lawyer's office, you're fucked. The whole thing's fucked at that point. Like you'd be better off just, figuring out the preventative maintenance, right? Like change the oil in your car. Like, so if you reverse engineer divorce, like most people, the marriage killer, the cheating or the gambling or the whatever, that's the symptom. Like the problem is these little disconnections, One of the best stories I have is I had a client who I did her divorce, and we'd spend a lot of time together because you do, when you're a divorce lawyer, you spend a lot of time with people and you get to know them very well. I mean, people will lie to their therapist. They won't lie to their divorce lawyer because A, there's no reason to, and B, I need to know everything and it's all attorney-client privilege.
Yeah, and it's confidentiality. Yeah. The attorney, in my opinion, have like a lot of like psychologist traits, and you can get a lot off your chest to your lawyer, man. Because in most cases, the lawyer's not going to tell everything or whatever. They're just going to tell you the honest to God truth, or because there's some liars that are full of shit, or they're going to go ahead and just tell you from what's going on from their perspective, and that's why I preach strongly on my channel that there's because there's guys out here with no kids, right, who haven't been married and things like that, giving advice, right, and I tell you guys, look, if you're going to be in a legal situation where that there's a high probability that she's going to divorce you and get 50% to 90% of your shit, or get you for thousands of dollars in child support, make sure you talk to a family law attorney, okay? Don't settle for one. Shop around. Minimum 5, right? If you got to, go to 20, 30, whatever it may be. In my case, I had to talk to like 10, maybe 15 attorneys. Then I narrowed it down to 5. And then out of 5, I narrowed it down to about 3. And then after that, I narrowed it down to about 1. You understand? Because I had to make sure they're not out for the best interest of my pockets only, right? No, you want them for the best interest of you, your child, and also to work within your budget and to understand your circumstance, okay? And you want as much information you can in writing that's going to benefit you, okay? No matter if it's unlimited. If they say, hey, I'm going to charge you, I don't know, $4,000, and we can go ahead and wrap this up. What are you getting for that $4,000? How many court dates does this consider, right? Does this include unlimited phone calls, unlimited text messages, unlimited emails? Is it like 5 emails? Is it like 5 court dates, 5 text messages? You need to have that information in writing from the attorney. You understand? In writing, okay, typed up. And when you sign the contract, make sure he gets a copy, you get a copy, and make sure you read it and it says that information in there. You understand? If it's a flat fee, you want to know if it's a black fee. If it's a retainer, you need to know it's a retainer. I prefer that you find attorneys that actually, hey, look, I'll do all this shit for one flat fee. That's it in a discussion or whatever, right? You know, contingent upon if there's, let's say there's 5 court dates in there and he says there's the 6th one, then contingent upon if there's a 6th court date, then I'm gonna have to go ahead and charge you, I don't know, $250 to $500 or whatever a court date, whatever the fuck it is. You understand? You know, because you got to pay the man or the woman for their time. You understand? It's just what it all boils down to, you guys. But you know, don't go out here and get this fucked up advice on these people. I'm telling you, the only people you can really get the real advice from is not only just your attorney, but guys who literally went through this shit, man. And like Rebel Against the Feet 2.0, shout out to him. He said, man, that these guys with these big ass channels who haven't been through some serious shit in court, they honest to God don't know what the fuck they're talking about. I'm telling you, because a lot of them haven't been through this shit. They've been through little itty wits here and there, but they haven't been through like the gravel, man, or they were about to get your fucking balls, how can I put it, put inside of the blender, and they pressed the button and they watched their balls get blended, so to speak, you know, in courtroom. You understand? So they haven't been through it. So anyways, click the like button, share, make sure you comment, you guys. Thank you for participating. I'll continue with the video.
And this woman, we were sitting outside the courtroom waiting on a break in testimony. And she was a young woman in her probably like late 30s, you know, very attractive. And we were just chit-chatting, and I said to her, you know, was there a moment when you realized the marriage is over? You know, like, was there a moment? And she said, yeah. And I said, when was it? And she said, there was this granola that I like. She said, they only sold it at like this particular grocery store, and I like to put it in my yogurt. And she said, he used to always, whenever I'd be running low on it, I would just open the thing one day and a new bag would be there. She's like, and she's like, it made me feel so loved. Like I didn't have to ask. He didn't want credit for it. Like he didn't go like, oh, did you see? I got your granola that you wanted, you know, like he just would do this thing, you know? And she said, it was just something that like, it always made me smile. She said, every time the granola was running low and there was a new bag of granola, I just felt very loved, you know? And she said, one day the granola ran out. And I thought, oh, that's weird. You know, maybe he didn't see it. She's like, so I left the bag in there because I thought, well, at some point he'll notice. And he didn't notice. She goes, so I took the bag out and I waited and he didn't get a new bag. And I thought, okay, this thing's going down. And I thought to myself, wow, that's like, you know, that's such a small thing, like granola. Like you just, but these are the things, like these are the little things that make us feel loved and that are gestures of love. And when I said to her, was there anything like that for you with him? And she said, yeah, blowjobs. And I almost spit out my coffee. And she goes, no. She goes, when we were first dating and even first married, she's like, I used to give him blowjobs a lot. She's like, you know, she's like, do it in the morning, took 2 minutes. And he was like super happy the rest of the day, you know? She's like, the rest of the day, he would like call me or text me and be like, oh, that was so good.
I don't know. Yeah, if I was the fucking attorney, you know what I asked? Okay, got you. So if he's doing all the granola and if it was for blowjobs, what caused that shit to stop? What made you say fuck it and stop? You know, I would like get down to the roots of it, you know, or whatever, right? What made you stop? Was you just bored? Were you tired? Did your jaws lock up? I would want to like really like know. You understand? You know, because if you stop doing the blowjobs or whatever, and you start noticing a shift, then you got to kind of question yourself. You know, okay, why did I do it? You understand? There has to be a goddamn reason. I don't know. Jaws locked up. You got bored. I don't know. Everybody's different, you know. So, you know, just there's just something to kind of process, you know.
This morning, you know, I had such pep in my step now, and she's like, it was just like, what did it really take out of my life to do that, you know? And it made him feel good. She's like, and then I got to a point where I was like, well, you know what? No, I'll wait, and then tonight we can have sex, and we'll both enjoy that. Like, what do I owe him a blowjob? Like, no, you know, like I don't owe him that, you know. And And then she said, I got to a point where it was like, I look back and I'm like, yeah, I guess I didn't do that as often, hardly ever really,
Which came first?
I said that to her and she said, I couldn't tell you. She said, but I think it's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
And I do think it's the same thing.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying blowjobs and granola is all you need to know, but, and I'm not, by the way, I'm not saying that a blowjob is a small thing. I don't think I have any right to. I've never given one. But it seems like a phenomenal feat, and I'm grateful for every one I've ever received. But I don't think it's a massive investment, right? Just like buying someone's granola is not a massive.
But when you love somebody, you love doing things for them.
Right, their pleasure
you love
pleases
making
you.
their life better.
Their joy pleases you. Like their happiness makes you happy.
Exactly.
And somewhere along the line, and it happens a lot in marriage, it becomes, well, I'm not happy, why should you be happy? And then that creates a spiral. And I really believe that that spiral could go in the other direction. Like if he did the granola, I think the blowjobs would have come, and if the blowjobs were there, I bet he'd have bought the granola. Like I can't prove that. There's no control group, I can't run that research, but it feels to me like those little things, like leaving a note, I've
Hey, I don't know. And that's just where I'm going with it. I don't know, but that's why I'm kind of like asking, a little bit, why did she stop? I'm trying to get there. That's what I said. If I was an attorney, I would have fucking asked. I don't know about you guys, but I would have asked. I would have went there.
Said to some of my friends, when they say to me, like, as a divorce lawyer, you see all this misery, like, how do I stay out of your office? And I'll often say, I'm like, it's dumb little things, man. I'm like, just leave her a note. I'm like, leave her a note in the morning. Just leave a little note, says, hey, beautiful, so it was so fun watching that movie with you last night. So glad we got to have a date. I'll be thinking of you today. Love you. Like, what does that take? That takes like a minute, not even. Like, and look what it can do. Like, look at how that makes this person feel. And even if right away it doesn't work, on that moment it doesn't work. Okay, do it enough times. Like, and then you're either going to figure out that this person's gone.
No, man. And this is where I disagree, man. I disagree with that shit. Because why should a man have to go out of his fucking way for a woman that's not going out of her way for him? That's just where I'm looking at it. Why does it have to be him writing all these damn notes? How come she's not writing a note, to his ass? Baby, I'm thinking about you, or, something, I really appreciate this, that, or whatever. Why has it got to be him? Why come? You understand? That's just something to kind of process a little bit if you think about it. You know what I mean? Just think about that shit. That's taken under consideration.
And then just fucking bail. You're done. Because if you try for long enough and you give like that, but if you're not giving like that and then you're not getting back either, well, I'm not surprised. That's how you end up in my office, is this death spiral of everyone like, well, I'm not buying the granola. She's not giving me blowjobs. Well, I'm not giving him blowjobs. He's mean to me. Okay, well, everybody's just has an equal right to be fucking miserable then.
I see.
I think if you're happy with yourself, be truly happy with who you are at that point in your life, or whatever the situation is, I think it's easier for you to be happy with your partner.
Yeah, but I would argue that if you're not happy with yourself, having someone happy with you is certainly not going to hurt your feeling of who you are, right? Like I don't need someone to tell me I'm handsome for me to have a nice day, but I can't think of anybody telling me I was handsome that it ruined my day. Most of the time you're like, oh, that's nice. I got that going for me. So yeah, I think self-love, of course, is the most important love, and to be secure in who you are and to not allow your self-definition to be easily swayed or pulled. Like if you believe the good reviews, you got to believe the bad ones too. I get that. But I just don't think kindness, it's just such an easy, especially if it's easy. Like if it's easy stuff, like just telling someone that they're beautiful or handsome or that you're cheering for. It just, to me, with marriage or pair bonds, I shouldn't even say marriage, like the world is trying to kill you all the time. Like people are criticizing you all the time. You feel like a failure a lot of the time. If you compare yourself to other people, you'll constantly be, comparison's the thief of joy. So why not have like one person who's just cheering for you? Like constructive criticism is criticism. It's still just criticism. So if your spouse is just sitting around criticizing you and telling you all the things you could do to improve yourself, instead of just being a fan and just saying, you know what, I know who you are and you're beautiful. I know who you are and your heart is good. And betting on the best parts of a person, I think that there's very little downside to that. You know, I think it would put guys like me out of business if people really leveraged that the right way.
I asked you earlier if you believe in love, which you said you do. Do you believe in marriage?
I mean, I believe people believe in marriage.
No, but do you?
Yeah. Do I believe in marriage? I don't. I don't think it's a useful technology. I understand culturally why people do it, but I don't think people should need it. I know I certainly don't need marriage. I don't think marriage, I was married. I was married before I really ever thought about what does that mean.
And you understand, you guys, this is coming from an attorney. This is an attorney, okay? Family law attorney that's talking about marriage, okay? He's talking about how marriage is not necessarily needed, you know? It's more, in my opinion, it's more like, how can I put it? An option, not a mandatory requirement. Society thinks you, as a man nowadays, are weird if you're in your 40s, 50s, and 60s and you're not married, even though you're happy and content. You can date whatever you want or what have you. You know, that's society or what have you, right? Even with women, that's just society or whatever, right? But, you know, but I believe the society where you're located in here in the West, you go out in fucking, I don't know, Singapore or Philippines or Thailand or whatever, and you see a guy, hell, in his 70s and he's single as hell or whatever. He's already went through the ringer of divorce, and you still got idiots over here chanting, well, you need to stay over here and you need to get married and all this other shit or whatever. Well, over there, it's you know, it's normal. It's normal for an older man to be single, right, on his own and not necessarily have any ties. Having a tie, right, it's optional. It's not mandatory. Now, for the women overseas, right, oh, yeah, they want to get married. They want to get married. I mean, like yesterday. Hell yeah, you know, or whatever, right? Now, are they looking for the same benefits and incentives, though, as an American woman is, right? The United States matrix woman? And to some degree, but not necessarily for the same way, you know, because we're talking about a traditional society. You understand? You know, we all agree that hypergamy is hypergamy. You know, female nature is every fucking way, right? You know, but are they in it to fucking, you know, get with the guy and get his billions of dollars? Not necessarily, you know. That's why I always talk about it. You're not going to see a chick in Thailand or Brazil who divorced a guy and actually walk out of there with like $50 billion, you know, or hell, $10 billion or $100 million. That shit's not going to happen, you guys. It's just not going to happen, you guys. Get back to video. Make sure you click the like button and subscribe.
You know, I married my college sweetheart. You know, I got married because that's what you do. You get married, you know. But I hadn't thought about it as a technology and why it's there. I didn't understand it the way I do now. You know, there's a line from a Joseph Brodsky poem that he wrote when his wife died, where he says, "I wish I knew no astronomy when stars appear." And I feel that way as a divorce lawyer. Like, I wish I knew no astronomy when stars appear. I wish I didn't know what the end of so many marriages looks like, because I think I would have a more optimistic and unrealistic view of it. I would. Yeah,
but you'd be divorced and giving away half your.
I'd be foolish. Yeah, I'd be as foolish. But I don't know that it's always good to know, right? Sometimes there's tremendous joy to be had, and like falling feels like flying for a little while, you know. So you hit the ground. Yeah. It feels really good.
But as I said earlier, you know, now that the life expectancy of man is around the 80s or something.
Yeah.
Then it's like, so you're going to do this from your 20s or 30s, 80?
Well, marriage is a technology that was designed for when women died in childbirth and when men died in their 40s if they were lucky, you know, 50s if they were super lucky. Like if you were in your 50s, your 60s, you were an elder, you know, that was pretty amazing. And most women died in childbirth. Like childbirth is traumatic. It's a traumatic thing. And before modern medicine and before we understood antibiotics. So marriage is I don't think anyone ever planned that it was going to be, okay, we're going to do this forever. You know, we're going to do this till we're in our, you know, till we're 100. I mean,
I just like the fact that he actually calls it a technology. That's very, very telling. Marriage being a type of technology. That's very telling, very, very interesting to myself.
Yeah, but I think that's part of a bigger problem. You know, I don't remember who said it, but I remember someone saying, I can't remember who it was, but we are prehistoric creatures, right? Like we are biological creatures living in medieval institutions like education, work, with godlike technology. How do you think that ends? Like you think that ends in happily ever after? Like that's insane. Like marriage was not designed. I mean, think about even the early days of marriage. Think about every Rodgers and Hammerstein musical. You know, think about Oklahoma. You know, where you'd have like there's like the 3 people in town that aren't married. You know, and you sort of pick which of the 3 you know you were going to go be with. And now you have access to just an endless supply of the opposite sex, or I shouldn't even say the opposite sex. You have an endless supply of romantic partners in a device in your hand. How does that possibly stand up? How does marriage, the idea of monogamy, forced monogamy or enforced monogamy, how does that ever survive in that environment? I don't think it can. I don't think it's realistic. The statistics prove me right. You know, the statistics are absolutely in my favor. Now, again, get married as many times as you want if you have a prenup. If you have a prenup, go get married. Getting married is a blast. Being married is difficult. You know, someone once said that it's great to be married sometimes. The problem is you're married all the time.
So you're a fan of prenups?
I'm a huge fan of prenups. I mean, I shouldn't be, because a prenup for a couple of $1,000s will save you hundreds of thousands of dollars potentially in legal fees, if not millions. So there are clients I have that have spent over $1 million just in their legal fees, that if they had spent $2,000 on a prenup, none of that. They'd still have that money in their pocket. And that's incredible to me. Like I have 2 sons who are adults that they are absolutely going to have prenups. Like they have to have prenups. They'd be fools to not have prenups. It's like jumping out of a plane with no parachute. Why would you do that? You know, it's stupid. Prenups are enforceable. They make sense. I actually think there's something very romantic about prenups, because they're forcing you to have a conversation about this relationship. Like I genuinely believe that we are the most aware of our health just after we got sick, right?
But I wanted to know this for a long time, man. You know, even Bill Gates too, you know. Why are these guys getting married without prenups? I wondered that for a long, long time. And I really think, in my opinion, it boils down to the fact that a lot of these guys were not instructed before marriage, by the way, you might want to get a prenup. You might want to do this. This is what you should have. They don't give men pamphlets on this is what you should do before you get married, or this is what you should do before you bust a nut inside of a woman. They don't give us these or whatever, right? And so you got guys like Bill Gates. He did not get a prenup. He didn't, whatever, right? He just didn't. Did he get off the hook in that divorce situation? Yeah, or whatever, right? Because, I mean, you got to remember, man, the fucking stock could have failed, man. Thousands of jobs could have fucking fallen, right, man? For real. Microsoft would have went boom through the river, man. Even the fucking goddamn the Gates Foundation, man. Yeah, they had like, you know, different types of charities. Man, that shit would have been ugly. Yes. But yeah, Dr. Dre was smart. He got a prenup. Did it get thrown out the first time? Yes. The second time, no. He came out on top because he hired another female attorney that actually represented him and got the prenup reinforced. You know, so that's why I say, make sure you got a great attorney. Make sure too that you guys are prepared. You understand? All right. And if you do a prenup, in my opinion, nowadays, don't have her sign it in private. No, make sure she signed it in front of attorney, in front of her witness, your witness too, and then film that shit. God damn it. You have to fucking film that shit. So then she can understand, you can understand, all the parties understand that she's not being forced or coerced into signing that prenup. Okay. You understand? All right. Simple prenup. It should be what's yours is yours, what's mine is mine, and then this is ours. That's it. You understand? What's yours is yours, what's mine is mine, this is ours, right? And you guys should be able to sit down, discuss it right offhand. If you cannot talk about a prenup or talk about these tough situations, you have no reason to be marrying that bitch. You shouldn't marry her at all. You know, I mean, I highly recommend you don't marry her in this country, you know, in the United States or Canada or whatever, right? In the matrix country, you know, Western Europe, whatever, you know, Australia, whatever. I highly do not recommend it. But if in the event you do, and you cannot talk about a prenup or she's making up excuses not to sign it, those are all the red flags right there that's telling you to run and get the fuck away from her. Especially if you got 6 figures, 7 figures, 8 figures, or whatever, you know, hey, you know, run. Be gone. You understand? Or if you're a guy that's making under 6 figures, you know, you're making like, you know, about 50 grand or whatever, but you got an inheritance by, I don't know, 4 houses and 3 Home Depots, 2 gas stations and 1 bank, you know, from your great grandfather who was a real estate investor, what have you, right? You know, now you got all those property and this bitch all of a sudden come in and she's saying that you're cute and you look attractive. Of course you do. But you have to be in a position to not only protect yourself, but protect your assets, to protect your properties. Look into getting what we call asset protection. Look into getting an LLC, an INC, or trust. You guys, I'm telling you, this is men's daily advice. I'm giving you the advice, man, and the encouragement. Protect your fucking assets. Protect your money and protect yourself, right? She shouldn't be able to easily get access to it by getting and using the law. She will use the law as much as she can to get whatever she got that you got that she did not earn. I'm telling you this shit. It's real.
Like if you wake up and you have a toothache, all you can think about is the fact your tooth hurts. And then your toothache goes away. And for like a week,
you're taking care of your teeth.
You go, oh my God, at least I don't have a toothache. You know, but then a month goes by. You don't wake up and go, well, at least I don't have a toothache. You know, it's the furthest thing from your mind. But theoretically, you could wake up today and go, I don't have a toothache. I don't have a backache. I don't have a head cold. Like, this is a great day.
What does a typical prenup look like?
The easiest prenup in the world. Easiest. Yours, mine, ours. That's it. Yours, mine, ours. If it's in your name, it's yours. If it's in my name, it's mine.
Like in a divorce, everything, all the assets are split 50-50.
Well, no, what you say in a prenuptial agreement is if it's an asset or a liability, if it's in my name, it's mine. If it's in your name, it's yours. If it's in our joint names, we'll divide it 50-50. That's it. That's yours, fair. Mine, ours. And then you have to have ongoing conversations throughout the marriage about, you know, hey, I got this bonus at work. Do I put it in my account? Do I put it in the joint account?
But if the husband owns a house that's worth whatever, $2 million, and he marries a woman, the house is his still?
Well, they have to have a conversation.
Yeah, but that's in a perfect world, okay? That's in a perfect world. Will she have those conversations? That's the question. Or will she start off having those conversations? They start off, okay, fine, cool, and then eventually she flips and changes her mind. I always remember women will change their mind quick in a heartbeat, man, especially if she's influenced by other Western women. This is how the shit goes, man. Remember that. And female nature states, man, that basically women have a herd mentality. They go along to get along and follow along. This is how it works.
Do I owe you a house?
That's an awkward conversation.
Okay. You know what's a more awkward conversation? A conversation 10 years later with a lawyer about the fact that you have to give half of this house away to someone. Isn't it better to have that conversation when you still like, why would you learn how to fight in a fight?
But won't that undermine the love that each person feels?
Why? You're going to die. Does that undermine your life? Or does it make you conscious of the fact that this is finite and that you're out there? Like, I think having a conversation with your partner about, look, I love you. You love me. We want to do this thing together. But the numbers are against us and the world is antagonistic to it. And I hope we'll be together forever. But if we split up, what do we owe each other? What do you expect from me?
Thank you.
Because I have to tell you something. I'm a fair person. I'm a fair person. If you say to me, you know, Jim, if I'm not going to work as hard because you make a good living. So if we split up, I'm going to need help for a couple of years because I'm not going to pay attention to my career. Okay? Is that unreasonable? That's totally reasonable. You know, if I say, hey, listen, I have this house and I bought it, you know, but I'm buying it with money that I made really before we were together. So if we split up, I don't really think you deserve half of it. I think that if we bought things for it together, that, okay, those things you can half of, but the house itself, like that's money I had before I met you. And
that's fair.
Why can't you have that conversation? Why not? You instead, I mean, you buy a house. You do a HUD-1, a lead paint disclosure. You got to sign all these things that this is how much the interest is going to be, and this is what you get married. You don't get a fucking pamphlet. You don't get anything. You just did the most legally significant thing you're ever going to do, other than die, and no one has explained any of it to you. People come into my office and they go, "Well, my retirement account, that's in my name," and I'm like, "Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's in your name. Okay, was it acquired during the marriage? Okay, she's got half of it.
Thank you.
Well, I have this bank account, but it's in my sole name. It's money that I inherited from my mom." I'm like, "Okay, and it's in your name." "Yeah, but you inherited that money during the marriage." "Yeah, and did you put money that you earned during the marriage in that account also?" "Yeah, okay, that's commingled and transmuted. That's now marital property."
You guys understand this shit, man? And this is what's going on here. Okay, let me stop sharing this though, because I got a part 2 that I want to play. Listen, make sure you click that like button, share the video. See, the thing is, like you said, he broke it down, right? The difference between what's marital property, what's your property, and what's her property. And a lot of these guys, they make this mistake and they get so pussified, man, and sprung by the puss, man, or whatever, and love and charms and all that shit or whatever. But they never look at the fact that if in the event that the laws end up screwing this man over, what should you do? What should you do? I mean, it's crazy, it's fucked up, but it's real. So, but yeah, man, there's a lot of that shit that goes on all the time, you guys, a lot of that shit. And what ends up happening majority of the time, man, is, man, these guys end up, man, and I'm telling you this all the time, these guys end up giving, man, 50, it's usually like 50 to 90% of everything that they fucking work for. 50 to 90% of everything that they fucking work for. You understand? So, but anyways, make sure you guys click that like button. Thank you for joining. Oh, I got a person that wants to join because I'm about to enter into part 2. So his name is Eric Zahn. Let's bring him on. What's going on, Eric? How you doing?
How are you, man? Great topic. Great topic.
All right. Great. Thank you, man. I really appreciate it, man. Yeah, listen, that attorney was chopping so much knowledge, man. And listen, I had to listen to it on my own, crack my beer open, man. And I said, man, I got to share this to the boys on here, man, because
absolutely,
so much, man. Now, I don't know. Now, let me make this disclosure. I've never been married. I've been scared as fuck to be married. I've been scared, okay?
No.
And I luckily
Listen,
never got married. Have you been married?
I've been married. I'm divorced.
Really?
Now, listen, I'm an anomaly. I got divorced in 2018.
Okay.
And I actually I went to have some surgery and some medical stuff taken care of, and then I fought for custody of my daughters, and I won.
Wow.
Now I'm from New York, which is even more crazy, but I was able to win custody and take them out of state.
Wow.
So I'm an anomaly. I even won alimony and child support.
Amen, man.
Now listen.
Did y'all hear about that? I hope y'all heard about that, man. Y'all better give them a hand, man. Listen, this is what we call the exception to. Can you tell these guys on this channel about the rare exception to the rule, man? All right, listen, guys like me and you are what we call the exception to the rule. Okay,
Now
they really listen. A lot of guys really think it's simple to just walk in court.
No.
File a motion for full custody, and boom, you just get it. And then
hell no.
You get other chicks that actually think that shit. Now, me, I don't know if you heard about my story. I've never got hit for child support. I got joint custody, split down the middle, 50-50, no child support, no supervised visits, equal rights to my kid, took her back to court again. Not only the judge granted me more parenting time, right, and more vacation time, but the judge granted me my daughter's passport and allow us to leave the country. You understand?
Wow.
And I'm still, listen, I haven't paid that woman a dime. She hasn't paid me a dime. On my parenting time, I pay for what I pay for my daughter. On her parenting time, she pays for what she pays for. The passport.
And that's how it should. Yes. But that's how it should be.
The passport.
It should just be 50-50 custody.
You got it. The passport stay in my possession. Her attorney tried to argue, well, why don't you let the her hold possession of the passports? And I said she can. Once she produced the money, she can go down there and get her own passport.
Exactly.
She sure can. She
exactly.
can go get her own passport, and it's not against the law to have duplicate passports because most
it's not.
People out there have more than one passport.
That's right. That's exactly right.
And I won. But go ahead, please continue. I want to hear the juiciness, man, before I play part two.
Now, like I said, I was just to give you a background, I was a New York City cop, so I had surgery and stuff from 9/11, so I couldn't fight for my kids right away. So once I got that all cleared up, I fought. Now the thing is, my kids were older, so the judge really took into consideration what my daughters wanted instead of just in New York and most liberal states, you know as well as I do, it's 90% of the time, 95% of the time, custody goes to the mother. That's a given. Exactly. That's just how the ball rolls. Mm-hmm. But the judge weighed the options of what my daughters wanted, and then it just became it got easier because the judge just asked, well, what does the kids want? And they chose me, and that's how the ball rolled. Now, my ex made some allegations that I didn't have a license, that I didn't have space for them, and I was like, well, if I didn't have a license, how the hell did I get on an airplane to, go to Atlanta for surgery? How did I drive all the way down to,
keyword drive?
State? Yeah, keyword. Right. But like I said, but you've touched on this before. I've seen it. If you have to get married and it's what you want to do, you need to be careful. You need to keep a little cash stash here and there, and you need to watch your back, because if you do get divorced, you're going to go through the ringer.
Absolutely.
I know you know who Father Saunders is. He lost 2 properties that he grew up with when his ex-wife, Father Saunders, on YouTube. He's a YouTube. He's like us, red pill guys.
Okay.
But in his divorce, he lost his childhood home that he grew up in, and he lost the house that he built with his 2 hands.
Oh my God.
He had to sign him over to her.
Oh my God.
And he lost custody of his 3 boys and 2 adopted kids.
Oh my God. Wow.
So I mean, anyone who look, the family court is a brutality. I think every man on this planet who is between 18 and 24 should be required to sit 2 days in family court and just listen to how horrible men are treated. Doesn't matter your race, doesn't matter your age, you are absolutely just destroyed. Family court is no joke.
Yeah, or it should be like a curriculum in college or some shit. If they can
absolutely.
If they threw like handwriting in there, I mean, the idiots already took out, home ec and shit, the good shit, remember shop class? I don't know how.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we had shop class.
You're Gen X just like me, so I know it.
Oh no, I'm millennial, bud.
Are you?
I am millennial. I'm 40. I'll be 41 next month. Yes.
And so but you're the beginning part of millennial, so you still had shop and home ec. So yeah.
Yeah, we had shop. We had we had driver's ed. We had home ec. You remember this shit, man? Of
course.
If you Gen X, you remember all this shit like it was yesterday.
Yeah.
Shit.
Absolutely, but I don't know. Like I think I don't know. I think it's pretty scary times coming up, man.
We'll call it and just leave it open. We'll call it divorce divorce and child support court or something like that or whatever, right?
Yeah.
They used to listen. Matter of fact, let's go a step further. Do you remember they used to have in high school called a family class?
Family planning and family planning and future.
What was it called? Yeah, it was family planning. What's the
family planning and family planning and future something.
You took it way back. Yeah, this was way back in fucking high school, man. This was like high school. I was like in fucking oh my God, you went way back. I was like in 10th grade.
Right.
And they had family planning in there. You had to take that in both the 10th and 11th grade.
10th, 11th. We had it in New York. We had it in 10th, 11th, and 12th.
Did they in your state? Did they call it family planning 1 and family planning 2, or family planning?
We had it 1, 2, and 3.
Oh, they did.
Yeah.
Wow.
We had it for 3 years. You had to do 3 years of it.
Yeah, because they had it to where that we had, man, they had some stuff in there. They had it to where we would take like a plant or a little teddy bear or some shit, and you had to be the mom and the dad. Like they really did that shit, man.
That's right. You had to keep a logbook and all that crap.
And then in home ec, did you take home ec?
Home ec, yeah.
Home ec was fun. Was it fun for you, man, or more?
Ours was pretty cool because she let us cook what we wanted. So like we used to have it in the morning, so we would do steak and eggs and everything.
Wow.
So, we had it pretty cool. Really? We had a good home ec teacher.
Not only we cooked, man, she taught us how to sew, we crochet, right? Because her thing was, she said, you guys are men, okay? There's going to come a time you guys might work out in the field, and you're going to have to learn, you're going to need to know how to sew your own jeans back up, you know? And
that's right.
I thought to myself, I'm not going to need this shit, man. When I got over, started cutting grass and shit, you know, I mean,
hell yeah. Or if you lose a button on your pants, it comes in handy, man.
I'm telling you. And then when I meet like some of the women overseas, man, they've been learning that stuff since they were like 4 years old, 4 years old, sewing, man.
Yeah.
Like, this is all they do, and they do it like quick. You know, they're masters at this shit, man. When they're
hell yeah.
Yeah, you know. So,
definitely. But yeah, no, definitely, man. Grateful for your channel, man. Great content. Keep it up.
Now, what about how were the babies, your daughters, at the time you pursued custody and filed the motion? How old were they at the time?
16 and 18.
Wow. So you got them at the very edge. Wow.
Yes. So my 18-year-old, it was funny. She actually got, she lived with me for 1 day, and then she got a job doing medical equipment sales because both of my kids are very bright. Mm-hmm. My older daughter is really bright. So she does medical equipment sales, and she lives in upstate New York.
Gotcha.
And in Westchester County. And then my younger daughter, she's an electrical engineer in the Navy.
Wow. And let me ask you this question. When you filed the motion, was this all inside of the divorce, or you had to take her back and file another motion for custody?
No, the divorce was separate. Like I had to pay child support for a little while, but because she was paying me alimony, it offset the child support.
Damn. Oh my
so my child support was supposed to be $1,800. Because she made buku dollars. She made 180 grand a year. So I only had to pay $800.
So you had an offset. So there was a difference of did you end up having a positive cash flow at the end, or you still had a little bit of a negative?
No, a little negative. I had to pay her $800 a month, but then when I won full custody of both kids,
the child support stopped.
The child support stopped, and then she had to pay me $1,000 a month, and then $400 a month. So
$1,000 a month per child?
No, altogether.
Oh, plus
I wish, but
plus the alimony too still coming in too, right?
Correct.
So we got 1,000 plus 400 plus an alimony check. Am I correct?
No. The alimony was dropped a little bit. So okay. I decided to play a little bit nice guy with her.
Is she still paying you alimony?
No, I'm done.
Is she still paying you child support?
No, because both of my kids are out of the house. My older daughter's married.
So the alimony, she don't have to pay you no more?
No, and to be honest with you, I'm glad because she's out of my life. I don't have to talk to her anymore. She's gone. So long. See you later.
So she was only able to pay you alimony until both of the kids are 18? Was that the order?
No, New York is 22.
Whoa. Wow. Now, because I've seen some states where they pay alimony until one of the parents or both of the parents passes away or get married. That's why I was thinking. Well, the
rule of thumb is in New York, like New York's not a permanent alimony state. So New York is for every 2 days you are married is 1 day of alimony. So I was married for 21 and a half years. So if I really wanted to be a dick, I could have gotten it for 10 years.
Or you could, if you want to right now, go back and petition for that extra.
Yeah, I could.
You could write that. And did you run the numbers on the 10 years?
Yeah, and I found out that she lied about her salary. She said she was only making like 160, but she was making like 183.
Did you talk to your legal counsel about that?
I did. He said if I wanted to, I could go back and rake her over the coals. But just the piece of and you'll know this. You'll agree with me. Just the peace of mind of having her out of my life and not having to talk to her anymore makes it all worthwhile.
Wow! And the attorney, he would have hit her so hard.
Oh, he said he had them over the coals.
I'm telling you, listen. I said it on a video a while back. I said when you guys go after these attorneys, right? You got to make sure. Have you seen them? Have you seen this series called Shameless?
Yes.
Do you remember that attorney?
Oh yeah. You have to be like that. Do you know? And you know this just as well as I do, just from being around. Now the game plan of all attorneys when you're getting divorced is, make an allegation of either, sex abuse, rape, beating, child abuse, so that you can get an order of protection, and you get the man out of the house. This way he's out of the house and you're in the house, you get the house. So like when I first started this, I had to pay to have a psychologist and a therapist on retainer in case she made an allegation that I abused her or the kids. That's the game plan now. That's strategy 101 going out of the gate. Things have changed. Women have gotten nasty in divorce. Nasty.
I'm telling you, man. Listen, I try to tell these guys. I told them time and time again, right? It's not necessarily easy as what you think to just go in there and boom, get
no.
done. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
No
Fiona's attorney, man, listen, I thought he was a goofy motherfucker when he said the words. I'm telling you, when I smell blood, man, hey.
Yeah.
And she said, get him. Okay, cool. And he broke it down. He said, we're going to take the house. We're going to take this. We're also going to inherit. His attorney said, oh, shit, fuck.
Absolutely.
Like, he transformed to a whole nother dude, right?
Yeah.
And then he found, he said, we're also going to take the guest. Oh, my God, my mom's house? I was like, I tell them, you have to find an attorney that goes for blood. You can't find one of those. I want to be nice to the women, right? But
nope. See that? You see that man behind you on the wall with the glasses, Mr. Malcolm? He said the only thing worse than a liberal is an attorney.
Yes.
Malcolm X.
I'm trying to tell you, man. I am not.
And he even said, if you need an attorney, you need to get yourself a jackal. And it's the truth.
I'm trying to tell you, man. It's not no joke out here, man. When it comes to these attorneys, man.
No way. Right? But listen, man, I just wanted to jump in and say hi, and let you know, love the content. Keep up the great work, and I'll see you soon, man. You be good.
Cool. Thank you so much. I'm about to get ready to play part 2 of the video. If I can find that Fiona clip, man, I'm gonna try to play that shit. Cause that shit is fucking me. Oh my God, for real. I can't
looking forward to it, man.
I can't believe
take care.
I've seen it. Thank you for your testimony, man. For real. Hopefully it encourages a lot of guys out there. And thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, man. Thanks for having me. God bless.
God bless you too. But like I said to you guys, man, when it all boils down to it, and when it's all said and done, you guys, get an attorney, vet the attorney, make sure they got the best interest of you, the best interest of your pockets, and the best interest of your case, man. If they're just out there just trying to be the best interest of your pockets, man, you need to get rid of that attorney. But if they're the best interest of you, best interest of your pockets, best interest of your pockets mean they're not trying to hit you over the head, right? And then also, too, the best interest of your children, your assets, and your money, right? Or what have you, man. That's a really good attorney you want to have. Now, remember, a lot of attorneys, too, right? They'll feed you a lot of shit. They will. But in my opinion, like I said, you got to vet them just like you vet these damn females. You have to vet these attorneys just like you've had to use the term female. So anyways, without further ado, okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm about to play a part 2. This part 2 video is probably one of my favorite videos, right, that I've seen. And I'm going to try to put it up for you guys now. If you can give me one moment, let me see if I can share the video for you guys. Give me one moment. And make sure you click that like button, share the video. I've been going on for about an hour and a half. I'm going to let this stream go on just a little bit longer. And I love it, man. So, yeah, maybe another hour or so. You know, I ain't doing shit tonight, just chilling. So, but click the like button. Make sure you share the video, engage in the chat. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you for coming to the Men's Daily Advice and Encouragement channel. Let me see. I'm going to find this video. There it is. Boom. All right. And we're going to blow this up. This video is coming from the homie Chisa Zed, though, right? From the Coffee Pod, man. He has a terrific channel. Make sure you guys go to his channel and subscribe to his channel. He has a lot, and I mean a lot of content I really engage in. This is probably one of the best viewers that I've seen next to Average Man Unplugged. So anyway, without further ado, he's going to go into a 2-hour scene about with an expert divorce attorney and multiple expert divorce attorneys, right? They're giving guys expert advice on divorce and also child custody too. So this is going to be my part 2 of it. You understand? And then after that, though, I might do a whole nother video on this. I don't know, just kind of depend on how it is, because the other video lasted about an hour. So I wanted to stop that at the half an hour mark. And now at the half an hour mark of that video, right? You know, because we're at an hour and a half here. Now I'm about to play part 2, you know, because I had a guest that came in. So anyways, make sure you guys click the like button, share the video, click the link, and hope all goes well. Subscribe. Without further ado.
Yo, what's up, YouTube? Welcome to the Coffee Pod. My name is Shisha Zed.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
In this video, I'm going to be reacting to some expert attorneys who are warning men to avoid some of the biggest mistakes that men make when it comes to marriage. Without any further delay,
no fault divorce. In the old days, you used to have to say bad behavior, adultery, abandonment, mental and physical cruelty. Now, all you have to do is say irreconcilable differences, that nothing can put your marriage back together again, and you get a divorce. The most important thing to protect yourself financially is having a lawyer in your state, an experienced family lawyer, to help you through the process. Women feel that they're entitled to alimony and men feel that they're not. In the last 40 years, I have had 4 cases that I remember of men getting alimony that I had to twist their arms and beat them up in order to get alimony.
Now that's nuts.
Should men seek alimony? More of them should.
Local divorce attorney says men should avoid teachers, nurses, and stay-at-home moms as a potential spouse.
I debated posting this because
Make sure you guys click that like button. I'm telling you. Okay. Now listen closely, right? In this particular situation, he's already talking about the top fields to fucking avoid when it comes to women. Remember, women work in particular fields. So what you want to do, and this particular attorney is advising, is to make sure that if you're going to marry, do not marry women in these particular fields, because more than most likely the divorce is going to fucking fail. I'm telling you. So without further ado, let's continue.
I know how bad it's going to be when people get this answer from me.
Keep it real.
But there were so many people that asked that I decided, after a lot of thought and consideration, that I will go ahead and respond to the most asked question from my last video, which is, what professions and women should men avoid? And a lot of you thought that those same professions for men that I told you to avoid would translate to women, and they really don't. I don't think that there's enough data out there for me to comment on that. But I've had one military female client who was pretty difficult, but other than that, I've not seen any correlation in those same professions. But I went through my case list, and if you have a problem with me giving an introduction to this, then just scroll along, because I'm about to hurt a lot of people, so I'm going to explain.
They're not going to like this coffee.
And you're going to have to listen to it if you want the answer.
Keep it real.
I went through my case list, and there's about 60 cases on my case list. And there are some common professions that I see in women. The most common one that I see is teacher. The second most common is nurse. But those cases are not cases where the female is really difficult or litigious or anything like that. They're just kind of run-of-the-mill cases. The most common profession that I see in the female parties in my divorces, and this is over 13 years of cases. Oh my God, I'm so nervous.
Say it.
Is stay-at-home mom. Hate me. I know y'all are going to hate me, but let me explain why. Number one, when you're divorcing a stay-at-home mom, they are paralyzed with fear, and rightfully so, because their whole life is going to change. They are going to have to go back to the workforce. They're going to have to possibly move. Their finances are about to be very different. There's lots of things that they don't know financially about what's going on. And so they tend to stick their head in the sand and stall. And so the cases become very contested and very expensive. The second reason that I see that stay-at-home moms end up being the most common profession in a divorce is that I think there's a tendency, and this is completely my opinion, just based on my observations. They tend to focus so much on the children, and the husband focuses so much on career that first of all, they don't feel appreciated by one another. But the husband starts feeling like an ATM, and the wife becomes completely focused on the children. And
Sounds
they
about
tend to
right.
grow apart. So I think that's why it's the most common. That's not hate, just an observation. It's probably my last TikTok. So see ya.
That's because they're going to cancel it for telling the truth.
My last videos have sparked some interesting discussion about different types of marriage dynamics and what works and what doesn't. And so one of the more common ones that was asked about was a situation where a woman earns more money than the man and what that situation looks like. So I'm going to tell you 3 reasons why I think that marriages where women earn more than men or where men don't work. Number 1 is, as I mentioned in my last video, men need to feel valued. And I think that when women earn more than men, it has a tendency to emasculate men. I think that they are ingrained within the society to think, I have to earn, I have to provide, right? Men are hunters and gatherers and they're supposed to provide. And I think that it kind of upsets the natural balance for the woman to be carrying that weight, because sorry to say this, but a lot of women who work also carry a lot of weight in the home. So I think that adds to it. So even regardless of whether or not you have kids, I think a woman carrying more of the financial weight not only tends to emasculate the man, but also can cause more resentment to build in a woman that would build in a man in the reverse situation where the man is the higher income earner. So that's number 1. Number 2 is that the men in these situations that are married to high-powered women, a lot of times, in the ones that I've seen fail, the men tend to be very, for lack of a better word, not motivated. They tend to be, they might be educated, but they don't tend to work very hard. They don't really seem to have a passion for anything. They tend to be lazy, and they tend to kind of rely on the woman to run the household. I mean, she does the bills, she does the finances, she takes care of the kids if there are any.
More proof that women
kind of
don't
is the
respect
CEO of the household.
men
They
who
just
they
don't seem to
out-earn.
really contribute much. It's the opposite of a traditional stay-at-home mom dynamic where the mom is running the household and the husband is working every day and paying for the expenses. The woman in that situation tends to do it all.
And see, the thing is, like I said too, and I think I touched bases on the video a while back, but I had to go and record because the other attorney on the other video I showed earlier, man, he was spitting like some really, really interesting facts too. But the point is, I wanted to say, man, is that when it comes to these attorneys, man, you guys have to really, and I'm telling you, man, you have to really find an attorney that really got your best interest. I'm really telling you this. You guys have to. You understand? I'm going to pay a little bit more of this, and then after that, I'll probably shoot some closing remarks, okay? But anyway, continue to check out this clip. You understand? click the like button and make sure you share the video, okay?
Move, their finances are about to be very different. There's lots of things that they don't know financially about what's going on, and so they tend to stick their head in the sand and stall, and so the cases become very contested and very expensive. The second reason that I see that stay-at-home moms end up being the most common profession in a divorce is that I think there's a tendency, and this is completely my opinion just based on my observations, they tend to focus so much on the children, and the husband focuses so much on career that they first of all, they don't feel appreciated by one another. But the husband starts feeling like an ATM, and the wife becomes completely focused on the children. And
Sounds
they
about
tend
right.
to grow apart. So I think that's why it's the most common. That's not hate, just an observation. It's probably my last TikTok. So see ya.
That's because they're going to cancel it for telling the truth.
My last videos have sparked some interesting discussion about different types of marriage dynamics and what works and what doesn't. And so one of the more common ones that was asked about was a situation where a woman earns more money than the man and what that situation looks like. So I'm going to tell you 3 reasons why I think that marriages where women earn more than men or where men don't work. Number 1 is, as I mentioned in my last video, men need to feel valued. And I think that when women earn more than men, it has a tendency to emasculate men. I think that they are ingrained within the society to think, I have to earn, I have to provide, right? Men are hunters and gatherers and they're supposed to provide. And I think that it kind of upsets the natural balance for the woman to be carrying that weight, because sorry to say this, but a lot of women who work also carry a lot of weight in the home. So I think that adds to it. So even regardless of whether or not you have kids, I think a woman carrying more of the financial weight not only tends to emasculate the man, but also can cause more resentment to build in a woman that would build in a man in the reverse situation where the man is the higher income earner. So that's number 1. Number 2 is that the men in these situations that are married to high-powered women, a lot of times, and the ones that I've seen fail, the men tend to be very, for lack of a better word, not motivated. They tend to be, they might be educated, but they don't tend to work very hard. They don't really seem to have a passion for anything. They tend to be lazy, and they tend to kind of rely on the woman to run the household. I mean, she does the bills, she does the finances, she takes care of the kids if there are any.
More proof that women
kind of
don't
is the
respect
CEO of the household.
men
They just
who they
don't seem to
out-earn.
really contribute much. It's the opposite of a traditional stay-at-home mom dynamic where the mom is running the household and the husband is working every day and paying for the expenses. The woman in that situation tends to do it all. And so I just think that over time it just weighs on her and she's just like, I'm out of here, or the man will cheat, as in my last video. And then finally, what's really interesting about these divorces is they tend to be the cheapest. Women who are the breadwinners.
Wow. That's pretty interesting. That's very interesting. So basically, the women who are the breadwinners, she's saying probably usually it's the more cheaper divorce, because a lot of them typically actually protect their money a little bit better than some of the men that they get with or whatever, right? But, again, I think, in my opinion, that's probably some of the women that are more the exception to the rule, what have you, because, again, I've seen some women out there hide their money a little bit better, right? And then when they hide their money, then they'll try to take and gather from the guy a little bit that he got just to protect their own money. I call it, double dipping. You understand? So, but hey, it's a sneaky type of thing, but this is what the fuck they do. You understand?
They're protecting their money. I mean, men do too, but not like the women do. And they tend to really push their husbands behind the scenes to settle. They tend to have to pay the entire bill and they don't want to pay that bill. So they keep the process really streamlined and quiet. So
you guys heard it for yourself. Surprising, right? The nurses one, not really, but the stay-at-home mom was a little bit surprising. Let's get into this comments, man. Let's see what people have to say, because people were mad and they were triggered. This commenter says, how about avoiding listening to people who tell you who to date? Oh, she dodged that accountability like the Matrix, man. This next commenter says, we already know how nurses move, flight attendants too. Shit. He's keeping it real right there. I can attest to that. That's facts. This next commenter says, not avoid us nurses. Yeah. You're on the list, lady. Next commenter. So women are off limits, but men aren't? Sheesh. Somebody else says, BS. Laugh out loud. Divorce happens because they deemed it so. If the wife makes more, she's career focused. The man is going to cheat regardless.
And let me tell you something. It doesn't matter if she makes little or not, man. It's the fact that, man, if she sees an opportunity where she can benefit more rather than being that marriage dude, she's going to fucking do that shit. She is. And also, let me give a shout out to the big homie, Rusty Rivers. What is going on? Good to see you, man. How you been? Yes, I'm back. Yes, I am. I know. I am here, but thank you, man. It's really good to see you, man, popping up in the chat. You guys click the like button, share the video. I see a lot of people coming in, coming out, what have you. It's cool. Anyways, I'm just doing another part 2 review video in regards to the last divorce attorney video that I just played. So anyways, good to see you, Rusty. Hope all goes well too. And make sure you guys click that like button, subscribe, click the subscribe button, and share the video link. I highly appreciate it. Thank you. Let's keep it going. Part 2. This is part 2 of the live stream. We're talking about divorces and child custody and how men get screwed.
Oh, guys, I just made a video about this. Somehow women have managed to make this whole topic about cheating. I'm not even going to read the rest of that, man. I love how everyone was all for the last video on what men not to date, but now everyone's mad in these comments. I'm dead. People are seeing how women avoid accountability like the plague, man. They'll avoid that shit. They'll do everything to make sure they don't have to drink that.
Do you guys remember the thumbnail that I made with Neo? Okay. That thumbnail with Neo. Go listen. If you go to my videos, I made a part 1 and part 2 video with Neo. Okay. You're going to see Neo doing this with the bullets. And all those bullets represent all the red flags, divorce, child support, and all this, right? Okay. When you're in the Matrix, and you have taken the red pill, you have went MGTOW, you accept things for what it is. That's us avoiding that bullshit. That is us avoiding that bullshit, okay? Now, let's flip it around when it comes to women. You see those bullets? Each one of those bullets, they're not divorce. They're not child support. You know what it is? Each one represents accountability and responsibility. They avoid that accountability and that responsibility quick. Well, not one bullet hit their ass. If it does hit them, it goes, maybe skip the leather on their motherfucking skin and shit, right? The jacket or whatever, but it's not going to literally physically hit or harm them. Does that make sense? That accountability, boy. Here in the United States, Canada, goddamn it, Western Europe, Australia, they can't take that accountability for shit. They will avoid that shit. And they'll also pretend, if they can, that they got your best interest to avoid accountability. It's crazy, y'all.
Coffee. This commenter says, so legally, all stay-at-home moms stack up that rainy day fund. But that's the wrong way of thinking, right? She tried to explain why the divorces happen, and women are going to see this and think to themselves, okay, so I need to stack up for my divorce. Instead of thinking, hey, why don't I try to avoid leaving? Because again, we all know that 70% of divorces are initiated by women, right? Another nurse says, I rebuke this video, signed by a nurse. Yeah, they don't really like what's going on here. Here we have a woman who's a professional who says, as a licensed professional counselor of over 10 years, I approve and support this message. Fellas, listen up. Take notes. Do your own research, but you know what I mean? I wouldn't take it completely for face value, but I think it's valuable enough that you got to look into this stuff.
I represented a husband. He worked since he's 16 years old, saving money. And he bought a house prior to getting married.
Listen up.
He bought it the week prior to getting married. Within 3 years, that house that he had put his entire life savings into was jointly titled. He was so upset that he lost half of that house, half of his life savings. You need to seek out a real estate lawyer. You have to remember that when you put the other spouse's name on the title, it gives them ownership, and they own half of the house and half of the equity. If you own a house and you're getting married, listen to this, because it could save you a fortune. Do not put your spouse's name on the title. Even if you're getting a mortgage and the mortgage company seems to tell you that you have to put your wife on the title, you don't. Do not put your wife on the title, even if she has to sign the mortgage.
She's giving you that free
If you put your spouse's
game.
name on it, your spouse is going to own half the house. If you inherit money during your marriage, it is your own separate account. Make sure that any savings account, checking account, brokerage account is only in your name. Do not add your spouse's name to the title ever. By putting your marital assets, your marital income into your inheritance, you're going to lose half of your inheritance.
There it is, you guys. There it is. And see, I see a lot of these guys who do dumb shit like that, man. They take everything that they've earned, man. Like, I've seen these guys. Listen, back of this Martin Luther King and Malcolm X poster, right? I got a couch back here, okay? These brothers and set up here and came over to my house crying, man, because they got screwed in divorce, right? They then took, like, these guys, a lot of these guys I talk to, man, remember, I'm just an average dude. I'm average as hell, okay? All right? These guys got cake, man, and they got skills too, like carpenters, plumbers and shit, computer analysts and shit, you know, or whatever, man. And they come to me crying because they didn't actually took damn near 90% of everything that they earned. They put it in their woman's name, okay? And or signed it over to their woman. And then when she decides, well, I want to divorce you and I'm done with you, whatever, right? Now everything that they worked for all their life is gone or whatever, right? And she's out there. You have to remember this, okay? The houses that you acquired, she got those houses, and she is now having sex with multiple men in each of the houses you earned and spending on those men on your dime. It's not her independent woman money. No, it's on your dime. The independent woman, I don't need no man money. She's taking that money to the bank. She's putting it in a separate account and living off your earnings. Ask yourself, is it really worth getting married? Is it really worth it? I want to know. I really want to know. All right. And this is one of the top topics on this particular channel I have to touch bases on, because there's still idiots out there still encouraging people to get married in this country. I just don't understand. I really just don't understand. Click that like button, you guys. I really appreciate it. Thank you. And I got new guests coming in. Someone named Lord Jeremy. That's one hell of a name. Lord Jeremy. You know, that reminds me of somebody out of Dragon Ball Z. He said, yo, MDA, salute to you, sir. 07, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Lord Jeremy. Thank you, man. I really appreciate it, man. I hope you're having a fabulous life. I really appreciate you coming by, man. Make sure you click that like button, smash the subscribe button, take the link, go to Facebook, to the biggest Facebook groups you got, MGTOW groups or whatever. Share the link, put a little title with it, share it to them, and hopefully it makes somebody's day. I would really appreciate that. Thank you, guys. But anyway, I'm about to get ready to continue to play this for you. Go.
Talking to you when you're getting married, you need to make sure that your old bank account that had $50,000 in it stays with the $50,000, and that when you get married, you open up a new account, a new bank account, a new savings account, a new checking account. You need to separate the money that you earn during the marriage from the money you had prior to the marriage. And do not put any monies that you are earning during the marriage into your prior premarital accounts. That money that you are putting in there loses its separate identity. Now it's marital, and your spouse is entitled to half of it. Your inheritance should be kept in a separate account. Do not add any marital earnings during the marriage to that account. You can invest it, you can do whatever you want with it, but do not add it to a joint account. Do not put anybody else's name on it. Make sure you keep it in your own account, and then it will stay your separate property.
I hope you guys are taking notes here, man. Shout out to Lord Jeremy. I really appreciate it. Shout out to my boy, also Gone with John's channel. You guys need to go to Gone with John's channel. He's way more consistent than I am. Shit. But he got some lightning MGTOW heat, man. I really love it, man. I'm always hanging out in the man's chat and everything. So hopefully one of these days, if he says, you know what, I'm about to have another live stream, start bringing people on or whatever, right? Maybe I could join. I don't know. But, he's doing his own thing, trying to get that YouTube income. So, hey, you do your thing, so. But anyways, thank you, Lord Jeremy. Thank you, Professor Rusty Rivers. I appreciate you guys coming in. And there are more people coming in. All right, cool. That's a good thing. All night I've been getting people coming in, leaving. And then I get some that are consistent. I don't know, or whatever. So anyways, though, thank you. I really appreciate it. Click the like button, guys. I'm going to continue with this video because this is one of the topics I have to cram in these guys' heads who really think they need to continue to get married to these ratchet head biatches. I just don't understand. Why do they want to do it? They didn't see the divorce rate. You got a female divorce attorney telling you what's going on, and they still want to give half to 90% over to this woman so that she can give it to another man. I just don't understand. I really don't. There are other countries out there that doesn't condone this type of behavior. Why choose to embrace it here in the United States? I just don't understand that shit. Or Canada or what have you. Or westernized country. I just don't understand.
Free game. Let's get it. Let's go. Let's get it.
I am astounded that Bill Gates did not get a prenup. He did not get a prenup. Can you imagine? Can you imagine the money he had then and the money they have now? And he never got a prenup. If Bill and Melinda Gates hadn't settled and they went to court, the stock market could have been affected. Many companies could have failed. Thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people could be jobless.
That's crazy.
It would have affected an enormous financial community.
All over a marriage.
All over marriage.
If they thought that a judge was going to be deciding everything and a judge wasn't going to be weighing how to make sure that all of the companies that they are promoting, all of the foundations and all of their good works that they are doing don't go under. I had a client who came to me after he had already settled his divorce. He gave his wife the retirement. He gave his wife the house. He gave his wife more of the brokerage accounts.
Damn.
And what happened? He never got back financially on his feet.
Sheesh.
So he ended up at the end of his life not being able to afford to live himself, and his wife was in a wonderful financial position. You do not want to do that. Base it on.
That is fucked up. That is really fucked up. I don't understand this shit, man. I just don't understand. But a lot of these guys, they really believe in giving their money to another woman so she can give it to another man, for real. And they really believe to keep marrying these chicks left and right. I don't understand it. They just keep marrying them. These idiot guys are going through like 3, 4, 5 divorces. I will never fucking understand it. One, I understand. The second one, okay, stop right there. my same method goes for having kids. Okay, when these guys are still yelling out these bitches ain't shit, you know, and women are wrong and all this shit, right? And I'm getting hit for thousands of dollars of child support, and these guys actually having like they got like 6 kids by like 4 different kids' mamas, man, and shit, man. And I'm sitting up here like, why are you continuously busting nuts inside these women? Why, man? What's stopping you from not putting that condom on? You know, or is it really that deep that the condom slips and breaks every time, or is it really that deep that you are having sex with these women that are refusing to take birth control, knowing there's over 32 different types of birth control? I mean, what is it? And a lot of these guys, they can't answer that question, you know, for real. They know the answer deep down. A lot of them just in denial, man. It's just what that shit is. A lot of them are in denial and they can't accept the fact, man, that they made a fucked up decision. You know, that's just what it is.
On now, and make sure that you don't give away the pots.
She hit a
What's
lick.
his and what's hers in marriage? If you bought a car prior to the marriage and you paid it off, that stays your separate property. When you buy a car during the marriage, you are buying it with marital income.
Okay, you guys, so remember, let me make this clear. On the last video that I just played, what did he say? There's a difference between his property, her property, and marital property. This is a second attorney that's approaching this same situation on the same topic, man. Now, when you got a female attorney and a male attorney telling you the same advice, man, right? And these are family law attorneys, right? I'm just going to assume they're in different states, right? This should tell you something. Okay? We got Rusty Rivers, right? He said, oh my God, he said, basically, that's horrible. Yeah, it is horrible, man, but that's just how that shit is. You understand? You know? Also, Rusty, is that Rusty or Lord Jeremy? Yeah, no, Rusty said another one. Then they're coming in a little fast. He said, got to keep your money from these tracks. Yeah, yes, you do. Protect your money, protect your assets, protect your property. This is the name of the game, man. Never put shit in your name necessarily, right? Only put certain things in your name, but your main property is going to be in a LLC, a INC, a S Corp, a C Corp. Go look up asset protection, you guys. I'm telling you, a will, put it in your trust, man, and then will it over right to your LLC or INC. This is just how you do it, just in case something happens. You turn into a vegetable, you pass away, you get sick, something. She ends up trying to divorce you, right? She can't find anything. You understand? She can't. You understand? It's not legally in your name, right? Don't put things in your name, your social security number, your date of birth. Only things you put in your name, social security number, date of birth, is like major things that you need to get done. But as far as like assets or any serious money or whatever, don't put it in your name if you get married, man. But if you do decide to get married, if you do decide to do something stupid to get married or whatever, make sure you protect yourself by take a really good asset protection class, okay? They teach this stuff in real estate also, too. If you run into some real estate investors or go into a real estate network event, yes, they do have these type of opportunities. So, but anyway, let's go back to Lord Jeremy. Lord Jeremy said that I know what it's like to get zero out through divorce. It ain't funny. I'm never going to get married again. That's full damn show. Did you hear that? He said, that's full damn show. He ain't about to get married because he know damn well he's not about to get over. He's not going to be in a position to hand some damn woman over some money or his assets. Lord Jeremy, did you get raped in divorce court? Did you have to hand over money? Huh? Did she go fuck one of your family members, got away with it and shit, and still earned money for you in court? Yeah, I remember in court, when she actually goes and fuck with somebody behind your back, they will give her money to compensate her for actually doing that shit. You understand? But you go to those Muslim countries, it's a different ball game. You know, Asian countries, they don't fuck around over there, man. That woman cheated or whatever. I did not know they like behead bitches over there. I didn't know. I didn't know they behead them and shut off their arms and heads. I didn't know this, man. You know, whatever, right? I had no idea. You know, and some of those countries over there, right? That did you know you could get away with actually smacking the shit out of a woman? You can get away with that shit. You understand, for real? Because again, like I tell a lot of these fuck up women out here, some of these guys that don't understand, a lot of those countries, the laws cater to men overseas. The laws over there cater to men. They protect the men. Over here in the West, the laws protect the women, but over there they protect men. That's just how it is, or whatever. You know, so yeah. And you're not about to come over there with your westernized societies of women and really think you're going to go over there to these Asian countries and these Muslim countries out there, right? And these African countries and shit and change their belief system. It's not about to happen, man, you know, for real. And if it does happen, if they do make an attempt, they're not going out without a fight. They're not, man, you know. Shout out to Uganda. You see what Uganda just did, man. And shit, they passed that anti-LGBTQ law or whatever. You know, you can't be walking around there holding hands with a dude holding hands with another dude, or chick holding hands with another chick. You just can't do that shit. You understand? Respect these countries. If you don't like the country, the way they're doing things, do what the passport bros are doing. Do what the SBM is doing. They're like, fuck it. We don't like what's going on in the Matrix. We are leaving. That simple. So, yeah. All right, they're coming in. I got Rusty Rivers. He said Muslim countries don't fuck around with feminism. Rusty, you were smart. You must have did a lot of research. Did you do a lot of research on Muslim countries, or do you know personal people from there? I would like you to elaborate about that. The link is above if you'd like to go ahead and participate on the stream. I would love to have you come on, and you can also comment through the videos with me, and I really appreciate it. Thank you, Rusty, for making that particular type of comment. I appreciate that. Rusty said Uganda. Yeah, dude, I sat up here and I shared the white boy out there. This white boy, man, in the MGTOW group said, man, you better take your ass to Uganda, man. And he had a black woman happy as fuck. He made me fucking proud. You hear me? I shared that shit. And in MGTOW groups, man, there was some that liked it, and I had some of the groups that rejected it, you know, because a lot of the guys, man, not every one of them, I'm going to be real, but a lot of them really are convinced that the women here in the United States are just the same as around the world. I swear to God, they are really the same as far as their behavior and their activities. But what they don't really understand is that a lot of these women across seas, they have female nature just like here. However, they have traditional and cultured values where there's not a high 90% of the women that are going to act like the high 90% of the women here. You understand? It's in reverse. You're going to meet about 10%, 5 to 10% of the women, they're going to behave just like the women over here in the United States. You understand? But 90% over there is going to be more, they're going to be more traditional and cooperative. You understand? You know, and, you know, it's just different. You understand? You know, they've been taught since they were kids, man, how to raise how to raise, you know, a family. You understand how to take care of their father, how to take care of their uncles, how to take care of their brothers, you know, or whatever, right? They're taught to be mothers. They're taught to be wives. It's just how that shit is, you know, for real. You know, shout out to Ukraine. I know the Ukraine war is going on, but man, that's a lot of fine ass, beautiful women, man, migrating, going to other countries from Ukraine. Oh my God, Ukraine had some fine women, man. They had a lot. That's a lot of fine, badass women, man. And them guys over there in Poland and other countries over there in Lithuania and all that shit, man, Roman, man, they over there tearing that tail up. But you also got to remember, in those countries too, they got their own share of traditional fine ass women. So it's like them seeing a fine ass woman, it's like everyday shit to them. You understand? So, you know, but until another YouTuber bring another solution, man, traveling is where to be. You know, you don't just stay here, go MGTOW, go without women and shit, man. I think we're just gonna be forever jacking off. No, we on this channel, we're looking for solutions, okay? Not just doing the same shit, man. We're looking for solutions. We're looking for alternatives, the ways so we can prepare ourselves to do something totally different. Fuck the bullshit. So Lord Jeremy said something else. He said, jump in, Rusty. Yeah, Rusty, you're more than welcome to jump in. Let me see if I can share the link. You guys are more than welcome to join. at any time, man. You know, I don't discriminate. I don't play hate, man. I'm gonna put it in right here just in case any of you guys decide to come on in. Boom. But yeah, so anyway, let me go ahead and play back the video. Click that like button. Make sure you share the video, man. It's over 2 hours and 9 minutes. You know, I might stay on for another 20 minutes or so. I don't know, just kind of depends. So I like this topic. That's why I like touching bases on it, because I have to get in these guys' heads so they can understand, okay, I fucked up. Or, hey, man, what can I do to protect myself? Okay, this guy actually went through divorce. This guy went through custody issues. Okay, what can I do to prepare myself since I'm in this situation? Or before I get in this situation, you know, how do I go about navigating? You know, something. You understand?
And therefore it is marital. Everything that is purchased during the marriage with marital income is marital and gets divided in half. Why don't men get alimony? Because it's my personal belief that the laws are neutral. They're gender neutral, but men do not get treated fairly when it comes to alimony in the court system.
Shout
Judges
out.
are biased against them.
Shout out to
They
Denise
are,
for
and
keeping it
I'm sorry
real.
to say it, but that's the truth. In the last 40 years, I have had 4 cases that I remember of men getting alimony that I had to twist their arms in order to get alimony.
40 years.
If you're a parent and thinking about moving out of the house,
That's a lot of goddamn years. 40 damn years. That's a lot of years. I don't care what anybody said. 40 years. Shit.
you need to hear this. If you are going to be leaving the marital house when you have children, that you do not leave until you have a time-sharing schedule in place so that you'll be able to see the children 50% of the time. That is very important before you leave. Let's talk about who pays child support. The person earning more money pays child support. There are 2 things that go into child support. One is how much you're earning, who's earning more, and the second one is how many nights, how many overnights the children spend with each parent. Put those together, there's a formula, and then that is how child support is calculated.
Did you know that when you get married, everybody has a prenup? Yep, the prenup is the state law that you live in. Every state has rights and obligations associated with marriage. So if you get married without drawing up your own terms and conditions,
Listen
you are
up,
by
man.
default submitting to your state's prenup. It's the #1 cause of divorces. Movies like this. I love this movie. I also love Ryan Gosling. But stuff like this sets unrealistic expectations of marriage. And when the honeymoon phase is over, they end up in my office. We call movies like this inventory stalkers for divorce.
And who falls for those movies? Women.
Every
I
time.
don't know why men don't want to get married a second time.
They fall for that shit all the goddamn time. Every fucking time they fall for that goddamn love shit or whatever, right? They fall for all those movies and shit, man. And like I said, all it is propaganda to put out there so then therefore more lawyers can get more money off of it. I'm glad in the lawyer, a couple of attorneys actually been honest with us, you guys. Click that like button, you guys. Keep it real. Let's go.
Time after divorce, it's because they lose in divorce. A lot of men lose their children altogether when they are fit fathers, or they end up with 30% custody while the woman gets 70, and they also end up paying a huge amount of money in child support. Add to that, because the woman won the children, she's also getting a large percentage of their assets, much more than a 50-50 share, where she's getting to walk away with the family house, all the furniture, everything inside. And after he pays that child support every month, he's strapped with alimony for the next 5 years. And he looks at his life moving forward and is struggling to pay rent and to buy a new house and to be able to have a nice place for his kids.
All right, cool. I got a guest that's coming up to the screen. What's going on with you? How you doing?
What the hell's going on up in this joint, MDA?
Shit. Here, man, drinking this Bud Light Lime and giving these guys some good ass goddamn advice. Hopefully, if they are married or going through divorce, hopefully they can take it and run with it, man. Instead of trying to go get caught in one of these divorce lawyers' offices, man, because they laying it to us, man.
Yeah. Your topic tonight, it's one of the few topics that I do consider myself an expert in, if there is such a word as an expert, and that's asset protection. And just a quick story about my background. I was married for 24 years.
Okay.
And I got into real estate investing. And after I got about my third or my fourth home, I went to a real estate attorney because I was afraid of getting sued by a tenant that fell down my stairs or something. And so we started maneuvering things around. The first thing we did is we put each individual property into an LLC itself.
There it is.
Then we created an S corporation that we then took the individual LLC properties and we put into the S corporation. Then we took the S corporation and we put it into an irrevocable trust.
I was just about to say, dip it in that trust and it's over.
Yeah. And what happened, of course, was, I got lucky. You see, I didn't go to try to set this stuff up to try to cheat my wife out of anything. I set it up because I didn't want to get sued by tenants. I was just worried about the liability. But as I kept accumulating properties over the years, and I've been doing this for 30 years now, but about the time I divorced my wife, I had all the properties set up that way. And so between her attorney, and the judge, they wanted to throw me in jail. They threatened me. They told me that the judge told me he was going to throw me in jail if I did not put the properties back in such a way that she could legally touch them. And I said, I just held my hands up in court and I said, go ahead, put the cuffs on me right now. I said, I'm not doing it.
Thank you. And did the judge flinch?
Yep.
And he didn't do a goddamn thing, did he?
He couldn't do anything. They tried to run the game on me, though, man. They tried to run the game on me, and I just said, well, fuck it. I said, I'm not doing it. You want to lock me up? Throw me away. I don't care.
And see, the thing is, right, I'm in real estate myself. I'm a wholesaler, right? I find properties for guys like you. Okay. This is what I specialize in, okay? Land, residential, multifamily, you name it or whatever, right? I get it dirt cheap and get it to guys like you all the day long. And what we had to learn, and that's why I was telling them earlier, when you go to a real estate network meeting, right, you can go to meetup.com. There's a lot of them all across the nation, right? Both virtually and in person. You'd be surprised what the hell you learn in that damn thing, man. And that's how that's what I learned about asset protection, man. The first thing you do, you can get it into an LLC, put it in an INC, S-corp, any entity, then take that entity, wrap it into another entity, then take that entity, you can wrap it into a trust or a double trust, whatever protection vehicle that you want to use to protect the property, because the biggest thing that I learned in there was United States is a sue-happy country. They are sue-happy. All right, they'll sue you right for breathing wrong, man. They'll sue you, man, from frowning wrong. Okay, I've just seen it or whatever, right? And I've seen from good landlords get sued. I've even seen slumlords who deserve get sued. Like the property where I'm at just got done getting sued for $2 million because they had a lot of complexes that were unlivable and uninhabitable, and the lawyer wanted to, well, not the lawyer. The investor who was in California, they wanted to just snatch all the money and sit on it and neglect the property. I was telling people this, and I talked about this on a stream one day on another guy's channel. I believe most investors get in the game for the best intentions. I do. However, they just don't know how to properly pick property managers. They don't. They really don't. They don't know how to vet these guys, right? Because these property managers, they'll come in and they'll tell you anything to land that gig, anything to land that gig, right?
Been there, done that.
Then once they get in there, right, the number one thing that the owner doesn't know about is what the real experience is from the tenant's point of view. And so I talked to somebody one day. We laughed and joke about it, but it's true. And I said one day, I really think there need to be like a super huge big property management company, want to say like Blackstone or BlackRock or some shit like that, right? And what they need to do is one of the owners need to just dress up like a tenant one day, all right? Come in that motherfucker and actually just see what's really going on at their properties, right? And talk to the tenants and see what's going on. And they have to go to the most shittiest ones in order for them to do it. And I'm telling you, man, I really believe that will have a bigger impact to do like a sneaky undercover boss thing. And then after that, they come out there, get up, pull up at that thing with their clean ass vehicles, their clean ass suit and shit, and sit down and get down to bass business. You know, be professional with it. Be professional. You see Undercover Boss, right?
Yeah. Now, I have experience with property management companies. I owned an overnight rental up on top of the mountain in Gatlinburg in the Smoky Mountains, for quite some time. And I had a property management company running it. I mean, because they're 10.5 hours away from me, I can't run that myself. So I have property management, experience, but basically the way that I run my rentals where I'm at is that, I basically am my own property management company. And I just figure that's just the best way to go, unless you live really far away from your rental. And, if that's the case, then yeah, property management companies make sense, especially if they're into, vacation hotspots or, like Airbnb, that type of thing. But my regular bread and butter single family homes, I got duplexes, I got triplexes, and I have some small apartments. I'm just my own property management company myself.
I see. Got you. Yeah, because, the thing is, a lot of these guys hire these property management companies, right? And a lot of them, they do shitty jobs. They neglect the properties. They're very mean, disrespectful to the tenants, right? And the owner doesn't know about it. He doesn't know anything about it. And the thing is, what's sad about it, you can't be mad that the owner doesn't know anything about it, because he or she, they don't want that type of responsibility. They put that headache on the property management company so they can actually deal with it. But the deal is that they don't know that the property management company is not doing their fucking job. They don't. I mean, look, listen, my property right here where I'm at just got sued. I can't disclose the location, right, or where the property is, but it's in Kansas City. I'm just going to put it like that. You can look up Kansas City, Missouri. Okay?
Yeah.
But they just got sued for $2 million, man, like for real. And those owners were pissed off. The attorney that we had actually put a contingency on there stating that the new owners, because they were forced to sell this property to a new owner for a discount and shit, right? They neglected that shit. And the lawyer put a contingency stating that the new property cannot acquire any type of past rent at all. If the new owner took, I think the lawyer was smart. He was a cold motherfucker or whatever. Everybody settled. We all got paid and all that shit. But the moral of the story I'm saying is that there's tons of them that they don't know how to pick property management companies, or they don't know how to monitor and know if the property management company is really doing a damn job. There's another investor I follow on YouTube. I got a huge real estate community I affiliate with on YouTube. Okay. His name is Scott Jelinek from the Master Investor Academy. And he chose the approach that you've done by actually managing the properties himself. And the way he does it is he actually handpicks his own people, right, to go out there and do the maintenance, do the plumbing, contracts out, things like that, or what have you, and hires in-house like his own CRM, his own secretary to, collect rents, do accounting, budgeting, and all that shit or whatever. And it works out better for him, Robert Kiyosaki from Rich Dad Poor Dad, he preaches hire a property management company, but make sure that they really have your best interests and they're treating tenants fair. And to me, that's a good approach, but it's very, very hard to find those particular property management companies that's going to treat your tenants fair, and they're going to be really nice to them, and not, talk to them like straight up trash. I mean, there's a lot of that shit going on that a lot of owners don't know.
Yeah, I agree. It's interesting. I actually, you mentioned Robert Kiyosaki. He actually came after I got started. the guy that was around when I got started, his name was Carlton Sheets.
You went way back. Wow.
Yeah. 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 I'm giving away my age.
Okay, got you. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. AKA infomercial. Go ahead. I'm listening to you.
Yeah. I'm surprised that you don't have more guys up in here for your live chat. Now, you know that I'm the guy that shills your channel and Gone with John's channel, right?
Yeah, I see you all. Which are you in the? Were you on the chat? Are you Rusty?
Yeah,
you're Rusty.
Yeah,
okay,
see, yeah. You see the name that's appearing on the screen, the Cajun crab, whatever.
Yes.
Yeah, my friend Brandon Trueblood, he always changes my name when I go onto his stream, and so it shows up at everybody else's stream.
Oh, okay. You know you can go in there when you go on the StreamYard and edit it prior to you getting on, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm like I'm John's main moderator, and I'm shilling your stream all the time in there and talking with the guys, and I guess I better start doing a better job. We need to get some more guys over here. You got some really good content, man.
Thank you. I'm a small channel over here. I do my own thing, man. Me and Rebel Against the Feed, I did a shout out to him on my community tab, man. I don't know if you know who he is, man, but
yeah, Rad is a friend of mine. Chronic,
wow.
Yep, Chronic, Hammerhand, Brandon Trueblood, James Von Maxwell.
Yes. Yes.
Yep.
Man.
All those guys.
Yeah, Rad, man, he's the truth, man. He just got his channel shut down, turned it around, came up with Rad 2.0. And listen, I went almost like 30 days, like almost 2 months, wondering where the hell did he go? And then when I seen his subs went down, I'm like, what the hell? And then he announced, yeah, man, I had a 2.0. They shut the channel down. And then, so I did a super, well, not super chat, but I shot him, some information through the chat. You know how it is. We got to shoot him information through the chat. And kind of find out, he ended up what I got blacklisted, and like a lot of the other channels, like Sandman did shit too.
Yeah,
but that's why I respect Sandman, because one thing Sandman did, and he takes a lot. Some of our advice is I said it a lot of times. Do not, I repeat, do not depend on YouTube as your only income and your only source to get the voice out, man. You can't do that shit, man, for real. And Sandman, he got BitU. He recently just got on Rumble, right? 'Cause I was telling him, man, you got to get on Rumble, man. People are going to locals right now, whatever. More freedom of speech platforms, where we can cuss.
Better Bachelor's having a pretty good success on locals.
I know, he put his up. He put his membership like dirt cheap. Like one time he had it like $1 or some shit. I was like, damn.
Yeah, Hammerhand's doing pretty good on Rumble. Yep, and I've seen this come and go. Look, I go all the way back to Barbarossa, Chris Cantu, Howard Dare, Sandman. All these guys.
Barbarossa, he passed, didn't he?
No, I think Barbarossa's still alive, but he's just not. His stuff is archived.
Okay.
If you want to see it. Yeah, and Spetsnitz is archived as well too, and he's one of the originals.
Gotcha. And also go to 411 Talk Zone also too. He has some really awesome content. I didn't even know he had, man. That man easily got, I want to say maybe like 1,000 videos, something like that. 411 Talk. So listen. When I typed in Red Pill, when I typed in MGTOW, he popped up with several others, and I just zoomed in, man. But I got in this community, man, like, oh my God, long time ago, man. But I'm glad to actually see you actually are participating in everything, man. Oh, okay, I just got your message in the PM. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. But But yeah, man, I got in here, man, and I just started discovering that guys had a lot of compatibility with myself, you know, along with the Passport Bros, SYSBM, man, and when I started seeing so many brothers, man, coming in, and we were all had one thing in common, and that was the fact that we kept getting disrespected by women. We kept getting fucked up by the divorce courts and child custody courts too. And the guys without kids, they were always labeled as socially awkward, lame, and they didn't have game, all types of shit or whatever. And me, man, you know, like I said, I'm against the pickup artists, man, and the dating coaching bullshit, man. You don't need that shit, man, out here, man. The only thing you need to do, in my opinion, man, is one, decide if you're just gonna go all the way from these women and leave them the fuck alone. Two, grab the little blue book, a passport, and go across it. Go to other countries. See the globe before you get buried in this earth, man. I tell people that, listen, if you're gonna be in real estate, man, take those assets, man. Produce a monthly income, 2 or 3 monthly incomes, right? Make sure it comes in for the rest of your life. Minimum, at least 2 to 5 grand, minimum. And then go see the goddamn world, man. There's other worlds and civilizations that are out there besides just the United States and Canada, man.
Well, I agree. Yeah. I agree. I do have a slightly different opinion about the passport bro thing. You see, back in my day, we called it geo-maxing.
Okay.
Which is the equivalent of the passport bros. And I only have one statement to sum up my feelings about the passport bro thing. Yeah. Women's nature is not contained to geography.
Correct.
Yep. And correct. If you go someplace, you better stay there, because if you bring them back, yellow fever always turns to green fever.
I agree. And that's why on this channel, we don't recommend any guy to do anything stupid like bring her back here. Yeah. I myself and many other men, we're against that shit. Let me go to this comment section. I got my boy Lord Jeremy saying some real. He said, though, right? He laughed. He said, a real estate investor, a real estate scout, and a contract walk into the stream, man. Shout out to you, man. I guess he's giving you love out there, man.
Well, actually, he's about 25 feet away from me right now.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah. Well, let me explain why. For the longest time, I have been advocating in the manosphere that it's time to take the MGTOW philosophy or lifestyle and turn it into a movement. And by turning it into a movement, I mean it's time to start doing something instead of talking about it. You know, all we do is talk about things. It's like the entire manosphere revolves around chats, live streams, you know, and videos. And it, you know, when you boil it all right down to it, it's all just talk. It's all just philosophy. It's all just lifestyle and advice. Well, I wanted to do something. I'm ready to turn it into a movement. And being in real estate, I thought, you know what? What can I do? What can I do as a, you know, with my, you know, with my assets, you know, and my expertise and what I believe in. And so I decided to create a MGTOW house, a MGTOW property that men whose lives were destroyed could come here and start over again, have new opportunity. And then they could stay at the MGTOW house for free, and then work on getting a vehicle, work on getting a job, work on building their lives back up, and then transition, you know, so that they are independent, where they leave and they create their own place. Well, we just had our first successful transfer. And you probably, I don't know if you know them or not. Are you familiar with absolute knowledge seekers?
No.
Okay, well, we call him AKS for short. But anyways, yeah, he just moved into his own place. Anyways, we're very proud of him. And, you know, we're going to continue helping him out and everything. And Lord Jeremy is here. I'm here. And, you know, we're doing things. We're making plans. We're making moves. And we're looking to expand this and to, you know, it's been a learning curve. I got this up and going just right before, you know, the beginning of the year. And, you know, it's been a learning curve, and we're still learning. But it's something that I actively can do instead of just typing something into a chat.
I agree.
You know, men helping men in real time, in real life.
I call it boots on the ground.
There you go.
Because see, the thing was for years and years, and I was talking to people like that. A lot of guys get on these streams. All we do, majority of the time, is talk about goddamn women, downing them, all that other bullshit or whatever. Okay, now we got the issue. What is the solution? And that's why the SYSBM, the Passport Bros, right, the Global Travelers, these guys actually took their passport, took their money, and said, "Fuck this, we're gone." All right. Actions speak louder than fucking words. And then so what was interesting to me was this, what even got me was in the MGTOW community, there were some guys just downing them. Oh, you go over there, the women gonna want you for green cards and all this other bullshit, right? But when some in the MGTOW started seeing these guys were not playing, and these guys are like millionaires, six-figure incomers, or just regular guys going over there, and they're genuinely happy. Okay, and they're not bringing these women over there, right? They said they came up with a plan, which was smart. They said, we're going to come to the United States, we're going to come to Canada, right? We're going to come to UK, we're going to go to Australia, we're going to bubble up, we're going to work our fucking asses off, we're going to get our real estate, get our investments going, and then after that, 2 to 5 times out of the year, whatever it may be, I'm going to go ahead and head back to Thailand. I'm going to have a great time. I'm going to head over to Eastern Europe or East Africa, whatever. I'm gonna go to Brazil, and I'm gonna have the time of my life, and I'll come back here and just strictly just bubble. That's all it is. So I'm gonna bubble. I'm gonna get as much money as I can. I'm gonna stay out of legal trouble. I'm not gonna fuck with these women. It's gonna be more on a high buy cordial basis. Once I get my money together, it's a continuous cycle. So then, therefore, once they get in the financial position where they can say, okay, the money's coming in for the rest of my life, then they can leave this motherfucker. Some of these guys, I did not know this, right, man? I'm just a regular fucking dude. I'm just a regular old wholesaler. I did not know this shit. I had millionaires, man, who I did not know who were struggling on trying to figure out whether to go MGTOW or not, or red pill or not, or whatever, calling me up, right, for other business propositions on Facebook. And they're venting to me, man, like, you know, remember, I've never talked to like a real millionaire, right? These guys are calling my ass up. And I talked to them at the real estate convention, but they're actually on a personal level, it's really fucking crazy, right? And they tell me, they like, I got $1.6 million, man, and I'm gonna tell you, I'm scared. I'm like, what are you scared of, man? I'm scared to fuck with these women. They might take all my goddamn money. I was like, wow. And yeah, and these guys, I'm like, do you know a fraction of your income will change my fucking life right now? He laughed about that shit. I said, why are you talking to me? And he said, listen, man. And he kept it real. He said, don't let the money fool you, man. But we're people also too. I was like, damn. That was like real fuck. That like hit me like hard, man. Like, wow, you know. And he was like in California. His son was in I want to say Massachusetts and shit. And his son wants to spend time with them. And he's like at the point he wants to go up there, snatch up his son, get custody of his son, or whatever. But he doesn't want to neglect his business down there in California because that's his breadwinner. So he's in a rock and a hard spot. He was asking me for advice. Went to my channel, man. Listen to that shit. Not only he went and got his son, but he got custody of his kid and then started growing his business. And now he's like from 2.6, now he's like 2.1 million or some shit. It's crazy, man. Like, you'd be surprised that the most richest and wealthiest people have other educations in other areas, but other literal areas they just don't have it in. It's like crazy, man. So, but I'm really
I can relate to that.
I'm really glad to be a blessing to somebody out there, man. Because, like I said, every little piece of knowledge anyone say, you can make somebody else's day out there. You'd be surprised, man. Whose day you can make, man. You'd be surprised.
Yep.
From the poor to the wealthy, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I just hope that other guys will really, I guess for a lack of a better phrase, get tired of the philosophy and want to put it into action. That's what I've been really trying to focus on, and I'm still struggling, trying to find my way. We're doing the best we can right now, and it's going to get better. And I was having this conversation with Lord Jeremy just the other day. We was, talking about philosophy versus movement. And I said, one of the 2 points that I made to him was, is I said, did the civil rights movement need the internet?
Fuck no.
No. And you know why? Because people were meeting at specific locations and getting on buses and going someplace to do something. That's why it's called a movement. Did feminism need the internet?
That's right.
No.
What about the Million Man March? Remember that?
Yeah, those were movements, and the word movement is you actually have physical bodies that are in motion going someplace. But here was the quintessential question that me and Lord Jeremy were debating.
Okay.
Does the red pill and MGTOW, does it need the internet? And my answer was yes. And the reason for it is because it's not a movement yet.
No,
it's an idea. It's just an idea. And you need pathways to spread the ideas. And see, this is why MGTOW has not become a movement, because all of us are not meeting someplace to get on the bus to go do something.
Right.
But you see, that's what I want to see happen.
I see it more, not necessarily an idea. I see it more. Yeah, the red pill, the MGTOW is more like a solution. Okay. MGTOW is more of the reaction. Okay. The red pill is more of the solution. Does that make sense? Like you can do this, you can do that. You understand? One of those type of things. Just like the passport movement. You don't have to stay in your house and whack off and off yourself off women and be the monk mode. You don't have to assume that every woman from the United States is the same as in North Korea, South Korea, or whatever the fuck, right? Or Colombia, or whatever. Here, you can go over here. Here's another. Oh, you don't like that country? Here's another country. Here's another one. Listen, I got guys in Cambodia right now, man. It's Ed Travels Channel. Shout out to him. He's in Cambodia, man, in his 60s, retired, chilling, kicking ass out there. Zoom to Thailand. He is in Zoom to Thailand. Now, this man is almost at 100,000 subs. He's about to do his 100,000 sub beach celebration, though, down there. And he's just retired, just chilling, man. He got the hell out of the damn matrix, man. The main thing is this. If guys can come up with solutions to make it out of here, right? Because women are they're getting scared out here, man. Listen, when I started seeing like big millionaires, man, and investors saying, fuck this, I'm out, man, that shit sent a little chill down my spine, and it told, man, I got to get my shit together, get the fuck out of here.
Well, let me say this, and I agree with what you just said.
I was like, listen, these guys got paper out here, like, man, for real. I'm talking like in commercial real estate, man, land, and then you got guys who are not in real estate. They're in IT. They sit on their ass in front of their laptop. Boom, they do their thing for about 2 hours a day. Boom, they out there fucking with their beautiful women, drinking big ass fucking margaritas, and they chilling, man. The violence is like 1%. You go to Finland, the poverty rate is like 1%. You know what I mean? Yeah. Just what it is. Some of them went level 3 MGTOW where they're staying in the mountains. They don't.
Well, that's monk mode, and we could discuss that. But what I wanted to say is that up to this point, MGTOW is like the shields on the Enterprise.
I agree.
Okay, if you stick to the 3 tenets of MGTOW. No marriage, no cohabitation, and no more children, you automatically put up shields around you to protect you. However, that is completely different than attacking and advancing against the enemy that you need the shields up to begin with. And see, that's where MGTOW can become a movement, because right now it's just a philosophy. It's just the equivalent of having shields up against the modern day gynocentric society we live in Western civilization. But it's not addressing what's going on. It's not addressing what the root problem is. Once it becomes a movement, that's a different story. Then we could go on the attack. But right now, MGTOW is just a defensive posturing. That's all it is up to this point.
I agree. Why do you think in the background I got these two fellas back here? Because these fellas created exactly what you said, a goddamn movement. Okay?
Yeah.
It
by
wasn't
any
pretty.
means necessary.
It wasn't pretty. It
No.
wasn't pretty. Listen, when I seen the movie Selma, have you seen Selma?
Gosh,
It came
I can't
out late.
remember.
It was with Martin Luther King. Came out a few years back. Go look up Selma.
Okay.
I had no idea that they went through that type of catastrophe down there. It wasn't just a black on white thing. No, man. You had like Indians, light-skinned people. They were all holding hands, coming together, man, against racism, prejudice, segregation. It was like crazy, you know, and I had no idea. And this man created not just one, it was multiple movements. Like it was crazy. Go watch Selma. You'll see, man. You'll see the violence.
Okay.
A lot of blood in it. I'm not gonna lie, but you're gonna see it. The guy who played Martin Luther King, he did his best. He did his best, man. I'm not gonna lie. But it
well,
gave
you know, one of the
yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
If you've seen Selma, it'll give you a great idea of what it really was, man. And I had no idea that you had like Indians and Asians holding the hands. I had no idea it was that deep back in the day.
Well, I have a history background, and one of my fortes in my history degree is the, pre-Civil War, Civil War, and Reconstruction. So I do have a little background in that, so I understand. And one of the things I wanted to say is I think that one of the main proponents that's actually holding the MGTOW philosophy back from actually transforming into a movement is that all of our big time content creators, they know that the very moment that MGTOW becomes a movement, they become targets, because movements have leaders and the leaders get targeted first. And so I think it's been in our content creators' best interest not to advocate to transform MGTOW into a movement.
Yeah.
And I just call it as I see it.
Thank you. And that could be, and you're saying they're working from a position of fear?
Yes, they don't. You see, once a content creator gets to a certain point that their YouTube channel, Rumble, Locals, or whatever is making them enough money that they don't have to have a payroll paycheck job, all of a sudden, man, they become fearful. They don't want to go out on a limb. They don't want to rock the boat because they might get canceled. They might lose their money. They quit their daytime job. They're just doing full-time content creating, and they don't want to rock the boat.
So you're saying they're working from a position of fear where they're not willing to take the chance like Tom Likas and Kevin Samuels did. Like Tom Likas right now, he took his proceeds, he got his own app right now. And if you want to go to listen to Tom Likas, you can go listen to him. No ads for about $20 a month. Unlimited ads, plus you get to download all of his back in the day free content. Kevin Samuels. Yeah,
I was right before.
Kevin Samuels.
Yeah, right.
He passed away.
Sorry.
Kevin Samuels. Yeah, he passed away. But he built a legacy to where he created a fat ass income. He's still getting money to this damn day. Him and his family still get money to this day, not from just.
I was going to say right before I jumped onto your stream, I was reviewing some of Kevin Samuel's videos. Yeah, he will be missed. He really created some unique things. In fact, I was talking with somebody just the other day. I remember him saying, he's the one that I believe actually invented remember how he used to say, rate yourself 1 to 10 and you can't choose 7?
Yes, 7 is the default number.
Yes, and he invented that. That's very noteworthy.
Yeah. If you see what made him take off was the fact when he came out with that averages vest video, and that chick was working at. You seen that? And she looked at God, honest truth, average. Like she looked at hella average or whatever. And the one thing, a lot of what he calls modern women, I call them westernized matrix women, right? Is that they don't like to have the truth in front of them, man. For a guy to have the audacity to come in and actually tell them that even though you think you're a 10, you're really a 3, man. I mean, for real. On a 10 scale, man, for real. But I'll give you a 5 because yes, you really are average, man. You average in the motherfucker.
It's just absolutely amazing.
Yeah, or whatever.
It's absolutely amazing the delusional factor of the modern day Western woman, and of course, it's mostly the young chicks. I'll say, from 16 all the way up to 35.
You think
once they get over, mostly.
I'm seeing more of them between 35 and fucking 60, man. Yeah, listen. Did you see the short he had when a woman called in her 70s?
Oh yeah. Look.
Oh my God! I was like, wow.
In general, they're all delusional. Okay, in general, one of the things that I have identified that's really going on. They got this new thing that's happening in the last couple of years. They actually believe that the aging process is in reverse for them. They think they get better looking as they get older.
This is new that you presented to me, but you know what? It doesn't surprise me. It doesn't surprise me, okay? When I started hearing in parts of the United States and Europe that there's a sperm shortage, and now they're raising the prices to pay men who don't want to sell them the sperm any goddamn more. That said a whole lot. Because, a lot of guys out here, man, and shit, right? They don't want to be caught up. They don't. Even though they got to sign legal forms and all that shit, they don't want a new legal form in the mail saying, oh, yeah, by the way, I know you donated this, but you still got to pay. They don't want to take the risk. I'd rather have my DNA on a towel, flush it down the fucking goddamn toilet, the sink, put it in the washing machine, whatever the fuck, rather than have it in the damn lab. These guys are getting smarter and smarter out here, okay? There's guys out here in their 20s, man. The early 20s, man, 23 years old, man. They're talking about, and look, Austin Holloman, I don't know if you follow him. He's out there in Africa, man. He done went to Brazil. He done went to Thailand. He got a feminist out there, man, damn near ran him out of Brazil. So he went straight to Thailand, and then now he's in Africa. Chilling. 23 years old. No kids at all, man. He done went to like 5 countries in Africa, man.
Yeah.
5, man. And out there chilling. Yes.
Yeah, look, make no mistake about it. With MGTOW and some other natural phenomenon that are taking place in Western civilization, we're starting to see a difference. Jewelry stores are closing. Wedding planners are going out of business. Toy stores are going out of business.
Did you? You're right about
bridal. Bridal shops are going out of business.
Yeah, David's Bridal. Did you hear about David's Bridal?
Oh yeah, nationwide.
This is nationwide. Wow. No, because
Yeah.
I was here in Kansas. I'm in Kansas City, and when I heard about it here in Kansas City, boom, Sandman made a video about that shit. I was like,
Yeah.
he was like right on time, and
Yep.
he said that he said it's happening all over the United States or whatever. And now you actually even more further confirmed it or whatever. And you started naming areas of marriage I didn't even know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's affecting everything. Even you know, a big thing just a few years ago was baby accessories, baby clothes, and stuff like that. Well, guess what? The babies is on the decline. People are not having children the way that they used to have children, you know, just 5 years ago, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
You know, Western civilization is in a slow toilet flush. And, you know, grab your chair, get your popcorn, and sit back and watch the damn thing go down.
Do you believe, all right, do you believe this philosophy? And I was just listening to some other guys who were saying this shit. By 2030, there's going to be a shitload of single ass and lonely ass women. Do you really believe that by 2030? That's about
Yes.
70.
Yes, that was done. I forget the name of the study, if it was Pew or if it was somebody else.
Okay.
But they estimate by 2030 that we will have the largest number of women over 40 who are single and childless. Right now, we have the largest number of women that have never been married and are single and are childless that are over the age of 35. We got them right now. And their ranks are being added to as we speak. It's getting worse.
But we still got to factor in also too, in my opinion, we got the large. We're running close to the Philippines. Philippines got a lot of single mothers out there too. You know, single mothers. Yeah, we got a lot of single mothers out here, man, that are you know, getting their kids with Pookie, Ray, Man, and Daquan, you know, Big Chad and Bruce and all them motherfuckers. And at what they're doing is after they have their fun with these guys, they're trying to get the average guys like myself with or without.
Yes.
Take care
Yeah,
of these
about
so do you
about
think,
the age.
do you think that's
Yeah,
going to affect the 2030 epidemic? Do you think that's going to affect that shit too?
I hope that the message is spreading, and from what I have seen, more and more men each day are waking up and they're getting exposed to this information. And you got to keep something in mind. All of this really started, okay, about 2006. And that's about the same time that Tinder and the internet met. And then all of the other dating apps, Plenty of Fish, Hinge, Bumble, all these things, Match.com.
Remember BlackPlanet.com, all that bullshit?
Yeah.
Tag, all that shit, POF?
Yeah, well, here's what's going on. For the first time in our civilization's history, these women are making videos and creating a historical record that has never, ever taken place in our civilization before. And men are now able to access the TikTok, the Instagram, all Facebook, all these different things. And the women are sitting there on our screens and they're telling us for the first time exactly how they think, what they want, and how it's going to be. And it blows us away. I mean, this has never happened before.
Right. And they're still wanting us to marry them, have their kids and shit. Even though they got ran through by all those guys, even though they have tattoos, even though they got shitloads of piercings, and even though they have the big bonus of what I always talk about, psychological issues and behavioral health issues. That's the big
look. My take on that is just one comment.
What's that?
Also, never before in Western civilization have we had this many single mothers. We have never had this many single mothers before. Okay. And one of the things that we're seeing is that when a single mother has a daughter, she's more likely to be exposed to sexual trauma at a very young age, which causes arrested development. Different men are coming in and out of the single mother's life. And then when a single mother has a son, statistically, he's more likely to go to prison. He's more likely to commit crimes. He's more likely to become a drug addict. Drop out of high school, all these things.
Yes.
We have never seen this before. And this is why narcissistic personality disorder, borderline personality disorder, histrionic personality disorder, and antisocial personality disorders are skyrocketing because of these single mother households.
Yeah, and a lot of them got it in their mind, well, I'll have this guy's baby, but I'll find some other guy who's stupid enough to raise this kid. But they're getting more and more pissed off because the guy who they intended on to take care of the kid, this guy is over in fucking Lithuania. This guy's in Poland. This guy's in Thailand. This motherfucker's in India. Listen, I'm like seeing it. Listen, when I seen this white boy get on fucking goddamn YouTube and he said, man, listen, you guys need to go to Uganda. Did you see that? He said, I told you, you need to go to
No,
Uganda.
I didn't see that.
Man, you need to see it, man. Type in, man, man encourages guys to go to Uganda. I'm telling you, his video went super viral, man. That thing been out for like 6 months. They still resurfacing and shit. He had his black woman, man. His black woman was holding tight, smiling and everything. He said, y'all can't have her. But if y'all want a real woman or a real black woman, come to Uganda. He like, I was like, wow. And he said, this is my third video. I ain't gonna sit up here and keep telling y'all, man, if you want a woman, come to the Uganda. Take your money, whatever little money you got, just take a trip here. Boom. And I recommend, man, you stay gone 14 days minimum. It has to be your minimum. Unless you got circumstances that's prohibiting you, 14 days minimum. I've been telling real estate investors, I've been telling guys in other businesses, man, get your passport, man. You got to go, man. Before you get buried in this planet, man, go see another civilization, man. You have to, man. Because if you spend the rest of your life thinking, well, the rest of the world is just like the United States. Oh, well, goddamn it, you are limiting your opportunities and you're selling yourself, man, very, very short. You just are.
I agree. Yeah, look, I agree.
And if you don't like that country, fine, you could go to another one. Then go to another one. And if you don't like those others, you can come back.
Yeah.
Being here could be for that person. But all I'm saying, because I had that opportunity when I was young, right? But I was stupid as fuck. I was hyper blue pill, goddamn it. And I thought to myself, but what about my girlfriend? She might be with somebody else. If I took my dad's advice, who was from the army, and he told me, man, if you get a passport, go to Vietnam, where I was fighting at, you'll forget about it. I wish I could have told that. He meant that shit. He said, you don't have to go to Vietnam. He said, listen, if you really want a good start, go to Germany. He was like, go to Germany. And then to this day, I regret it. I really regret it, man. There were guys from the Army to this day and from the Navy telling me the same thing, that they have fucked up by actually coming back here to the United States. They should have stayed out there. They said, I fucked up.
Well, MDA, it's been great. It's been great talking with you, sir. I'm going to have to drop out and put my damn phone on the charger. It's about to die on me. But man, great show, man. Great show.
No problem. And listen, if you want to keep touch with me, I got an about section on there. It has my WhatsApp. It has my Skype on there, Reddit or whatever. You can contact me, shoot me a text, call me anytime. You're never a stranger, Russ. Okay?
All right, man.
And tell Lord Jeremy I said, man, thanks for interacting in the chat. I really appreciate it, man.
Well, there.
Hey, it was good talking with you, MDA.
No problem, man. You can call me Mr. Gigi. I got it in the title, Mr. Gigi, Men's Daily Advice.
Mr. Gigi.
Mr. Gigi, you got it, man.
All right, brother.
Well, thanks, man. I really appreciate it. You guys keep up the good work, and it's really good to talk to a fellow real estate investor. Trust me,
yes, sir.
Man. It really does. For real, man. And listen, we got a big community on YouTube of real estate investors. I'd like you to join, man. And we can collaborate more on this channel and everything. But hit me up. I can shoot you to some more channels, man. These guys got deep pockets, man, and you can learn a lot of knowledge, man. I'm telling you, man, for real. And
all right, man.
And like I said, wholesalers like myself, we find properties for guys like you all the time, man. These guys all the time. I'm telling you, man. So we like to make you guys money just like we like to make money with you. So, but anyway,
okay, brother.
But take it easy. You guys have a good night, man, and charge your phone.
Yeah. Okay, bye.
Bye. All right, you guys. I'm going to play this a little bit more, and then after that, I'll probably get some closing remarks, man. It was really good to talk to those two gentlemen. Let's go ahead and let's play this clip.
Why would he take that risk again?
In this video, I'm going to be reacting to some of the most horrific divorce stories I have heard, and they'll be shared by expert divorce attorney Lindley Richter. Grab your coffee. You're going to need it.
Grab your coffee. Grab your beer.
Was paying child support of about $750 a month for 2 children based on his income of $50,000 a year. Well, about 2 years into his child support obligation, he ended up inheriting a large sum of money, about $1 million, when his grandparents passed away. Mom got wind of that and hired a lawyer and took dad back to court and asked for an increase in child support, claiming that that inheritance that he received should be included in income to increase dad's income, thereby increasing his child support obligation. Well, the court agreed. And what the court did is,
of course,
the amount of money that he inherited, divide that by the number of years that the children would be minors and he would have a child support obligation, and then increase dad's income by that amount. Dad ended up having to pay child support now based on $150,000 a year of income when you included that inheritance in there. What do you think about that? Do you think that's fair? About a year ago, I had a case where a father of a child that had been born out of wedlock was ordered to pay child support, about $500 a month. And he had paid that child support for about 4 months until the parties got married. In other words, he married the mother of the child. And at that point, he stopped paying child support. Well, move forward 10 years and they're getting divorced. And guess what?
Surprise.
The child support office now comes after him for all of those arrears, over $50,000 worth of back payments, even though he was married to the mother during all of that.
What?
Well, that case went to court, and guess what? The judge ruled that he, in fact, owed that money.
Oh, my
Well,
God.
move forward a year. I have another case, very similar to that case, where the father was ordered to pay child support, paid it for a little while, then the parties got married, then they got divorced, and the child support office came after him for that entire arrearage. But in this case, we had a different judge, and this judge decided the case on principles of equity and fairness instead of strictly on the law. Very interesting, because the cases were almost identical, but the outcomes were polar opposites. One judge followed the law, the other judge followed her feelings, her heart. She knew that it would be unfair to saddle that guy with that much child support when he had been living with that mother, married to her, and raising that child. It's a very interesting contrast. But it goes to show you that many times who you have as a judge makes all the difference in the world. Judges are human. Some judges will rule one way, other judges another.
Local divorce attorney warns men not to marry higher earning women. In specific, what she means are women who earn higher than them. Here's what's interesting, and I'm about to play the video where she goes into detail about why marriages with higher earning women don't work, right? Here's what's interesting. She's a divorce attorney, and for the longest time, she made content mainly targeting women. Why? Because we know that women initiate 70% of divorces, right? So for the longest time, she was making content for women. And at one point, she got asked the question. I did a video about this. Her audience had a question for her. They wanted to know, what are the top, I think, 3 professions that men choose that really don't work out for marriages, right? Like, avoid these men. A lot of them were in military, law enforcement. And then she made one for the women, right? And she said, I don't want to do this, because she knew what would come with it. And of course, they didn't like that coffee.
No, I'll have a tea, actually.
So let's get into it. In this video, she explains why marriages with higher earning women don't work without any further delay. Let's get it.
My last videos have sparked some interesting discussion about different types of marriage dynamics and what works and what doesn't. And so one of the more common ones that was asked about was a situation where a woman earns more money than the man and what that situation looks like. So I'm going to tell you 3 reasons why I think that marriages where women earn more than men or where men don't work. Number 1 is, as I mentioned in my last video, men need to feel valued. And I think that when women earn more than men, it has a tendency to emasculate men. I think that they are ingrained within the society to think I have to earn, I have to provide, right? Men are hunters and gatherers and they're supposed to provide. And I think that it kind of upsets the natural balance for the woman to be carrying that weight, because sorry to say this, but a lot of women who work also carry a lot of weight in the home. So I think that adds to it. So even regardless of whether or not you have kids, I think a woman carrying more of the financial weight not only tends to emasculate the man, but also can cause more resentment to build in a woman that would build in a man in the reverse situation where the man is the higher income earner.
So I have to say this. So she's coming from a place where she says, you know, when a woman earns more, you're throwing things off balance. Why? Because men are providers, right? Men are providers. And the resentment doesn't come from the men. It mostly comes from a woman. And a woman is saying this. Well, that's what's beautiful about this whole thing, right? One thing I notice is that women tend to shut up more when they hear it from a woman. Would they agree with her? Probably not, but I don't see them deflecting as much. They can't use the whole like, oh, that's the problem with men. You're insecure. You're intimidated by boss babes, right? But they see a woman like this and they're like, oh, you traitor. What are you doing? Telling the truth. They don't like that coffee.
Put that coffee down.
Number 2 is that the men in these situations that are married to high-powered women, a lot of times in the ones that I've seen fail, the men tend to be very, for lack of a better word, not motivated. They tend to be, they might be educated, but they don't tend to work very hard. They don't really seem to have a passion for anything.
Say it.
They tend to be lazy.
We know what you're trying to say.
And they tend to kind of rely on the woman to run the household.
Beta male. Beta male, dog.
And it's a goddamn shame, but hey, it's true, man. I met millennia guys that really believe in their philosophy that it's really in their best interest to live off a woman, and they don't have to do a goddamn thing even though she's offering it. Is it fucked up? Yes, but it's real. Let's keep it moving. Click the like button, share the video, okay? All right, we're going on 3 hours strong, so I'm going to get off in a little bit, okay? But let's do this.
That's what she doesn't want to say. Beta males, right, tend to be lazy, tend to not take charge of their life. You know, plenty of people out here don't like the idea of alpha males and beta males, right? The idea that there's sort of these hierarchies within men. But the problem is that people don't usually understand this stuff, right? When I talk about alpha, a lot of times it's contextual. In the context of your woman, you're not going to be an alpha to every woman who you come in contact with. How does the woman that you choose to deal with view you? She's talking about a man who lets a woman take charge of her household. She's talking about a beta, bro. Let's get back into it.
I mean, she does the bills, she does the finances, she takes care of the kids, if there are any. She kind of is the CEO of the household. They just don't seem to really contribute much. It's the opposite of a traditional stay-at-home mom dynamic where the mom is running the household and the husband is working every day and paying for the expenses. The woman in that situation tends to do it all. And so I just think that over time, it just weighs on her. And she's just like, I'm out of here. Or the man will cheat, as in my last video. And then finally, what's really interesting about these divorces is they tend to be the cheapest. Women who are the breadwinners,
Listen up,
they're
guys.
protecting their money. I mean, men do too, but not like the women do. And they tend to really push their husbands behind the scenes to settle. They tend to have to pay the entire bill, and they don't want to pay that bill. So they keep the process really streamlined and quiet. So
Personally, I think she did a really good job explaining why marriages with high earning women don't work. What I really want to also focus on is what she said at the end. She said the type of divorces where the woman turns to be the breadwinner, she turns to be the higher earning person within a marriage, are the cheapest divorces. She says because women really hold on to that money, right? And when you understand female nature, when you're RP aware, it makes sense. It makes sense when you understand that women are takers, not givers, right? They're gatherers. She takes resources. So there's a couple of problems I see there. Not only are you in a position where she doesn't respect you, right? Because remember what she said, most of the times it's the women that build resentment. You might think, oh, I'm secure. It doesn't matter what you think, bro. Female nature will always win. If she does not respect you, what? She's going to initiate the divorce. She's going to leave you. Why? Because she doesn't matter how much she loves you. If there's no respect there, if she's building resentment, doesn't matter how secure you are in the fact that your woman earns more money than you. Most women will either one, think they can do better than you because of hypergamy, because they look at you and you're lazy, right? I think here's another part of this, right? The guys that are out here and think they don't have to try and love is going to get them through, right? I'm going to be the stay-at-home dad and it's all good. That shit doesn't work, bro. When you're talking about it, right? When you're in love and you're talking about how, oh, don't worry, babe, you won't have to do any of that. You can be a stay-at-home dad and I make more money than you and it's all good. It sounds like a good idea, but people forget human nature exists, female nature exists, male nature exists, right? When it comes to actually practicing that out, many people don't know themselves. And a lot of women especially, right, are blind to themselves, or they think, oh, I'm different. I'm going to make this work. So like I was saying, not only are you prone to being emasculated by a woman growing resentful because she earns more than you, but you also leave the marriage with peanuts, right? Because women are master gatherers. And you're going to feel obligated to let her take it because your natural propensity as a man who's a provider is to say, you know what, she probably needs it more than me. You lose on both ends, right? And I don't like that coffee.
This coffee smells like shit.
All right, you guys, listen. That shit was funny, the motherfucker, man. But that's real, man. A lot of guys out here, man, really don't actually really take female nature, man, and really understand it for really what it is. It's crazy, but it's real.
Dad got custody of his son when his son was about 10 years old. Dad raised his child, fed, clothed, and sheltered him, didn't get any child support from mom. You know why? Because he didn't want it. He just simply wanted to raise his son without any hassles, without any kind of problems with the mother. Mom would get visitation when she wanted it. Didn't get that much, but did get some, but never paid child support. Well, move forward 5 years. Kid's now 15 years old. He wants to go live with mom. He and dad got crossways about some things, so he figures he'll give mom another shot. So mom gets custody of the kid. Guess what? The first thing mom does is goes down and puts dad on child support.
Oh my
Even though
goodness.
dad never put her on child support when he had custody, first thing mom does, put
This
dad on
coffee
child
smells
support.
like
So now dad's
shit.
paying about $850 a month in child support for this 15-year-old kid that he
Insane.
raised without any help from mom for the last 5 years. Just doesn't seem fair. does it?
Female nature.
Dad was paying mom about $650 a month in child support. Problem was is that when the child support was set, mom was only making about $12,000 a month. That was 3 years ago. Now she's a college graduate and she's making $60,000 a year. Well, dad called mom up and said, look, you're making more money now. I need to lower my child support. I should only be paying about $300 a month. Mom disagreed and said, no, I want the full $650. Well, dad had to hire a lawyer, take mom to court. They fought it out in court. And when all the dust settled and the smoke cleared, the judge agreed with dad and set the child support at the amount of $350. Now, here's the problem.
There's a little known statute that says that dad cannot get attorney fees from mom if mom is receiving government assistance for child support purposes. Dad ended up having to pay mom's attorney $2,500 for having to go to court to lower his child.
Wow.
Doesn't seem fair, does it?
You want to hear something crazy? Put yourself on child support. If you're the father,
I'm going to end it right there because I disagree. You better not put yourself on child support. If any of you guys are stupid out there, you're going to put yourself on child support. He's basically saying put a noose over your fucking head. I say it. Do not put yourself on child support. If anything, you're going to find an attorney. God damn it. Serve her ass papers, right, for you to get custody and for you to get child support, okay? All right? Start off serving her first. I would not put a noose over my fucking neck, okay? This is from my experience. I haven't paid a dime in child support. I don't have any intentions of paying child support. And I really don't want any guy paying child support. I really believe in the philosophy that a man shouldn't have to pay money to another parent just to see their own kid. If anything, they should be able to pay money out of their own pocket directly to the kid or directly to the company that is actually helping to provide the kid. And when I mean the company, I'm talking like stores. Like if you're going to get the kid, I don't know, a dress or some clothes from Kohl's, you go to Kohl's and you pay them, not the goddamn parent. You understand? You got the laws out here saying that you got to pay the parent. You shouldn't have to pay the parent. You should be able to go actually straight to that source and actually pay that amount to that source, not to the parent, you know. So anyways, you guys, thank you for joining the stream. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate my guests actually coming on today, you guys. So click the like button, share the video. I really appreciate it. Until then, I'm about to go ahead and get off of here. We've been on here for over 3 hours, you know, going on almost 3.5. So anyways, without further ado, have a great night. Make sure, click the like button, share the video, click the subscribe button. And until then, I hope all goes well. Make sure you take a daily dose of red pills. And for God's sakes, protect your assets, protect your money, and make sure you serve her first in court. Okay? Make sure you are prepared. Prepare yourself. Then serve her. Catch her off guard. Don't tell her you're about to do it. Show her. Because she's going to go ahead and show you before your ass even know about it. But you make sure you catch her ass off guard. Trust me. If they're going to do it to you, you better do it to her. Talk to you later. Peace.